Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello. Let us be heard.
Yeah.
Test.
Can everyone
Oh,
hear?
okay. I hear us on the other end. Oh, wait, I don't know if I heard everyone.
Yep.
Yep, I hear everything.
Sounds good. Sounds good. How's everyone doing today?
Oh God, now there's like an echo because I turned up the volume really loud and it hurt my head.
Don't
Real
do that.
questions. If you say hello,
Hang on, before we begin, I have some sad news. So I was going to provide ASMR for y'all. I was eating a plum, but Nathan took too long to start up the thing, and I finished the plum. So blame him.
I was
ASMR.
trying to avoid your plum.
plum out of luck. I'm sorry.
Dave?
The
Yeah.
stealth plum.
For those who don't know, I'm allergic to plums.
Oh yes, he actually is.
Mock bottom.
Yeah.
Pick Messar. Or no, wait. No. Okay, so we're live.
Yep.
If that wasn't should you? I think you should change the starting now because we have started.
But we technically haven't started. I mean,
I love how there's somebody whose username is ting tang walla walla bing bang. That's their full username.
Yeah, so we'll be archiving our podcasts. We take them down, edit them, and then upload them. Well, I say usually.
Don't even do them live.
This is one of the few ones we've done live. The only Pikcast that we've done live so far have been
during one of the meetups, I think.
Yeah, both of the meetups we did a live Pikcast, but that was when we were all in the same room.
We also did one where Nathan at one point accidentally live streamed the entire Pikcast.
Yeah.
But like it wasn't on this channel, it was on his channel, and it was like,
oh yeah, didn't we notice it like halfway through?
No, it was literally at the very end.
Oh, yeah,
I think it was Noah texted you, and they're like, "Do you know you're streaming?"
I think did we have like one viewer, and it was someone like we didn't know or something.
It was
like
just one person.
It's like I imagine like through that.
Hey, Shay's here. Hi, Shay.
Hi,
Hey,
Shay.
At one moment, we're like, oh, we need to edit that out. Well, this is awkward.
Well, yeah, welcome to episode 20, everyone.
Episode
Yes.
20. That's a big. That's a
God, I
a
can't
big
believe it's
number.
already been 20 episodes.
For our upload schedule.
This
That's
is
impressive.
Wait,
this is pretty good.
Nathan,
Hey,
can you move the 20 over slightly to the left because it's like cut off and
Oh,
really
you know what? I think the image got cropped. That's gonna
That's
take me
wrong.
resaving the
Oh
image.
no.
It's like
Fine.
I could do it.
Can you
Well, now
like
that-
get a
now that
picture and
you've
just
pointed
cover
it out-
over it? Like can't you like
no,
get like a picture
Nathan, just move your hand in front of it.
Take your C-stick and push it slightly to the
Wait,
left.
I know what I might be able to
take
do
a
here.
permanent marker and just fill it in.
I might have a solution here. Let's see.
Yeah, just live like in the PowerPoints, how you can paint live on a PowerPoint. Like just paint the rest of the zero.
So-
Give my boy 20 proper adhesive.
Up B for victory says that they've never seen one, and I'm hyped to be honest. Well, we have 19, well, at least 19 others. We have like 25, I would say, counting like the live ones and some other ones.
We hope you like.
Pico, you have
Okay.
been noticed.
We are being yelled at. Well, we're still prepping. Cam, we're still prepping. Okay, calm down.
We're not prepping. Let's do some filler.
Episode 20 requires 20 minutes of prep.
You're
Yeah.
saying as if we didn't just have that.
Yeah, yeah,
Can-
really.
That was one serious plum break. I'm sorry, guys, but it needed to happen.
Episode 20 is
Yeah,
us
well,
preparing
that's
for
what we'll do,
episode
so-
21. Like
Yeah.
it's just gonna be 2 hours of us prepping.
But yeah, let's introduce ourselves. Okay,
Okay.
let's go on the list.
Hey guys,
So-
I got
Yeah,
some
we
good
do
news,
that,
guys.
don't we?
Guys, I got some good news. I just subscribed to Pikipedia right now.
You can do
Well,
that.
let's do a round of
Everyone-
applause.
Okay, for reals, let's introduce ourselves.
Okay, so we'll go
And
down
you
the
should be
list
like
on-
Luther and subscribe yourself. Sorry.
All right, we'll
Or
go down the
don't,
list
because
on
the shameless plug.
Pitcast. We'll start with Dav.
Hi, I'm Dave. Okay, Cameron, go.
Cameron
is-
currently can't talk because he has bronchitis mixed with HIV.
he is in the live chat though, which, if I understand how like some of the recording, I don't know if he'd show up in this chat, but we will read off if he types anything in our Discord, followed by
Jordan.
Hi.
AKA.
I'm
Say your name.
CraftedPbody. I'm
There you
Jordan,
go.
also known as CraftedPbody. Check out my channel.
Followed by.
My name is Nathan.
Oh,
I am Nathan. I am Creative Sushi.
And I am JPMRocks, aka Josh.
JPMRocks.
Rocks,
Whoa.
Racks.
Hello, I am Joe, but I'm Omega.
And then.
And then there's me. I'm the biggest rat that makes all of the rules. I'm Luther.
Alright.
No, you just said you're the biggest
You
rat.
know
who
you're
knows all the rules.
You're Tricky Berry.
Yes, that is my
Alright,
name.
so. So now that we have a roll call underway, we have a little bit of a schedule. We're going to be talking about some hacks and mods for Pikmin 1 and 2, because that is becoming more prevalent. Thank goodness. I think that's actually really cool. Some art stuff and some artists we'd like to show off. We're also going to be talking about Hey Pikmin, because we actually haven't talked about Hey Pikmin since it came out. Talk about the Switch, specifically our favorite games and the new Direct and all that cool stuff that came out, like, was it yesterday or the day before?
2 days ago.
2 days ago? And then we're going to be talking about this year's meetup and all of that, which is usually our big, huge live shindig. But, so we'll start from the top. So, Pikmin hacks and mods and stuff. So, the first one, and he is actually in the chat right now, is a mod called Pikmin.
B as in the
Which-
B.
Yeah, they're the
B
big
as
red
in the B button emoji.
Pikmin. It is a mod for Pikmin 2. It's called Pikmin, and it is made by. I mean, there's tons of people who work on it, but it's run,
Including our
it's
very
led
own
by,
Dave.
Yeah, Dave worked on it. But it
And
is run-
Untitled.
Yes, it is run by Untitled and Smash Sponge. Untitled is in the chat, and it's a meme mod. It's full of memes. And if you want to watch someone playing them, Grapefruit has a drunken let's play of. They have a drunk let's play of the game, which is definitely something to behold as he progressively gets more and more drunk.
Oh, Shay did a
pretty
couple of things for
entertaining.
Bigman. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, Shay did some things for Pikmin as well. So there's a few things for Pikmin. I think it still gets updated.
Yeah, it's
every
getting
once in a
updated
while.
right now.
They're
It's more than
they
just a texture
apparently are
hack, though.
putting me in it.
Apparently they're
Oh,
putting
hey,
me,
Nathan.
Josh,
Cake wants to join.
Nathan.
Yeah.
And Nathan, Cake said that he's ready to join when if you give him the role.
Oh,
Also,
okay.
Can I talk about Bigman? Because I want to do like a
Yeah,
little plug
talk
about
about
it.
Pikmin,
Yeah,
Okay.
let's add Cake first.
Okay.
All right.
and then we'll talk about Pikmin.
You got
He
it.
knows
Come on
this is
in,
live,
Cake.
right?
I hope he does.
You can come on in.
And
Cake.
introducing
Hey,
the one,
Cake.
the only.
Hey,
Winner of the first Splatfest. Wait, Cake won, right?
I don't think I did.
Oh, okay.
I think it was ice cream.
Ice cream
Oh.
one.
Ice cream one.
Oh, sweet.
So-
well, no.
Kirby won. Kirby won.
Yep. Okay.
Kirby's the true winner. of
Okay. So
Splatfest.
before we continue, Cake, I just want you to know, in case you weren't already aware, this is live.
Yes, I'm aware.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
All right. So Dave, tell us about Pikmin.
Oh boy, Pikmin is a wonderful texture, model, and content act done for Pikmin 2. The exciting thing is, it's much like the repainted games, where users or people working on the project submit ideas, concepts, textures, and modifications, and they're all compiled into one gigantic, completely
Pikmin 2.
insane, nonsensical, beautiful thing. And the nice thing is, Pikmin has evolved, but Pikmin never stops evolving. We keep making adjustments and changes every day. And now we have, let me think of something beautiful. I think one of our Pikmin models was replaced with a Pepsi can once. And so, like, it was just a bunch of Pepsi cans following the captain.
Good.
But this is one wonderful example. I think we also have a whole, instead of whole of beast, it's like whole of
Hey,
frogs.
Dave,
Yes.
can you can you get a little bit closer to your mic? Some people are saying they can't hear you.
Like this?
Okay, not that close. Just speak a little louder.
I'll fix it. 1 second.
I can turn him up on my client side. So
I'm gonna go.
Oh, cool.
I'm going up. Uppies time.
Dave's going up.
All
I'm going
right.
uppies.
Up I
Right.
go.
There now.
That's better. Okay. Pikmin time. All right. Pikmin 2 is wonderful, but the best part of it all is how nonsensical things are. We could put any texture as long as it was somewhat safe for work, any concept, any silly thing, including editing the text files of the game. So wonderful things like the ship is now Princess Rosalina. Olimar, I believe, in the latest update, is now Zero Suit
forgot
Fox.
about
Dave,
that.
Yes.
So I'm being told in the chat by Untitled that Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 2 are two different hacks and to not confuse them.
Okay, that's a good point. Well, welcome to the Pikmin series.
Pikmin
Let's go with
2.
that. Pikmin series.
Also, Nathan, why is it Ikmin 2?
It's fixed, okay? I had to get it, so I went and
There we
downloaded
go.
an image.
There you go.
But yeah, if you like repainted games, if you like hacks, and you like things that are really silly, and if you're familiar with the Pikmin series,
Also,
you
it should
might
just be
make something
it should
about
just be Pikmin.
Yeah, Pikmin. Just play it. Have fun.
I
Yeah,
have
it is
watching,
quite an adventure.
watching
Right.
Grapefruit's playthrough of it. There are a couple mechanics changes too with some of the enemies, so it's not like just a repainted meme game. There are a couple few changes here and there, at least last that I've seen.
And it's
And
more
it-
difficult.
Think of
Much
it as
more
like
difficult.
the Master Quest that Ocarina of Time had in its re-release. Think of it like the Master Quest of Pikmin 2.
Ah, yes,
That's
Pikmin's
much
famous
fun.
Master Quest game, Pikmin.
But yeah, I hope you guys are able to play
No,
it
the
in
true
close.
Master Quest game would be Balrog's Lens of Torture.
No,
So I did receive a message from Untitled, sort of detailing the advances in Pikmin hacking in its relation to Pikmin. So I'd like
Go
to
for
read
it.
that. Pikmin certainly pioneers what we're capable of when hacking Pikmin 2, but since then we've been doing even more with the game. After months of having the capability to create entirely custom maps and make custom music, those capabilities are finally being put to good use. And I am censoring this a little bit. Pikmin 2 uses levels with new geometry. Sponge and I have begun experimenting with custom music and making some sweet stuff, and more recently, large-scale sound replacement has become possible, further increasing what can be done with this 13-year-old GameCube game, and taking us even closer to the Star Road of Pikmin 2 hacks finally being a thing. Although outlandish ideas, such as storing Bulbmin in the ship, making new Pikmin, or adding new enemies still
I would just like to add in that in case anyone doesn't know, Star Road is a very famous hack of Super Mario 64.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Okay, continue.
We can now do even more than what was able to be shown off in Pikmin. In reference to the original Pikmin.
Oh, and also,
Wait, can I play? Do I have
Untitled says
permission
in the
to
live
play?
chat. Wait, what, Josh?
Sorry. Oh no, do I have permission to play one of the sound clip that was shown to us? Do I have permission from Untitled to play this? I don't know if it's like
Can
a
he
work in
play? Can
progress.
he play the thing that you sent me with the whistle? Because that made me laugh so hard.
I know. He said in the live chat that people apparently want him to nerf the bombs.
Do not. Make them
Don't.
bigger.
Oh, you hear that? Hear that? Hear that? Make them bigger.
But slower. So you have to worry about it. Something
chat
that
isn't
actually
Updating.
the chat isn't here.
No, it's here. It's just
It's
wasn't
here.
updating for me for some reason.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I just love the fact that I was able to change sub level to suck level, and that was in the game for. And I'm so proud of that because every time I go down a level, it doesn't matter how scary it is. I can always look and be like, suck level, and I feel bad.
Also, tendies.
Yeah, instead of the boot screen, I originally submitted this. It did not get in, but that's okay. I had
Yeah,
it
I
say
know. I
instead
still
of
think it should
Nintendo,
have.
it just said Tendies in the red Nintendo logo area.
All right.
It was wonderful.
Oh, he sent you another sound replay. So I'm assuming that means I have permission. It's just I want to play the one. I'm playing the one that I know what we know it has. I'm gonna play that. So because here, you guys ready?
Do it.
Yeah,
Do it.
go for it. That is so ridiculously loud.
That is the new whistle sound.
That is the whistle.
That's the whistle sound in Pikmin.
Oh, I don't know if it's Pikmin or his other project or
Pikmin
what,
2.
but
That's probably Pikmin 2. Pikmin is already out.
But that is a. I hope everyone appreciated. I even turned up my headset just so everyone could hear. We lost 4 viewers.
The 4 viewers who left, I'm so sorry.
I don't think they left. I think they got vaporized.
Guys, they got rounded up. The whistle was so loud they had to go
Okay.
to Olimar.
You know what you know what I love? I love that there are people that were like, "This is my first Pikcast," and this.
So sorry.
Those are probably the people who died.
My
I'm
ears
so
are
sorry.
crying red tears of joy. Wait, Titanium Star, he needs it to be louder.
Oh God, no!
Don't-
Stop,
don't-
Josh.
don't
Please
play
no.
it
No,
out.
please
no,
don't. I'm
no.
wearing headphones.
Don't.
No.
I'll mute you.
Is that what...
And
I
that's
thought-
the end of Josh in this Pikcast. Say goodbye to Josh.
All right, so is that all we have to say on Pikmin?
on Pikmin? I
On
believe
Pikmin,
so.
yes.
All right.
So yeah, that's
next-
kind of
Oh,
like
next
one of
thing
the...
on the
we
list.
have another Pikmin hacking related.
We have 2 more.
Two more.
Pikmin.
Yeah, we have a few. We have a few more. So next is actually one that was posted originally in Pickcord, and I thought was really really cool. This was by Henrico Magnifico, and he made an HD Pikmin 1 texture pack.
It looks really good.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, it
it
actually
looks
looks
really,
very
really
good.
I'm in the Discord for that too, just to see what's
I
going
want
on
to see
in
if I can get it to show up on the stream.
We should update the description in the stream to be
To
like
have links?
having links to these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I was gonna. Oh, also, if you don't have it already, you should get the pictures of that Axis guy for later on in the in the
Yeah.
Pikcast.
The links are in the Discord. But what's it? Yeah. So he did it looks really really nice. The textures look really really clean. It's all usually like, when they take an old game and they play an HD texture, it looks pretty bad. But he did a really really good job with getting HD textures to work for it.
Here, I'm posting a link to a video of the HD texture pack in the live chat description right now.
I'm also playing the video on this. I'm going to be playing the video on the stream right
Okay.
now.
Oh, apparently I'm not allowed to do that.
Here, let me get the link.
Hang on, I have an idea. There. Just attach that to the end of YouTube.
Oh wait, Nathan has it here.
I've got it on the stream.
We're playing.
Oh, sweet, we can do this.
So here it is live. So this is actually really, really nice. Like even the menu screen looks really good.
God, I didn't even notice the menu screen looking better.
Everything.
Please?
just
Yeah,
looks
if
so
anyone is
clean.
watching this on a 1440p monitor or higher, it'll look even better for you.
Yeah. This is gorgeous.
Somebody in the chat says that we should get Arlo as a guest on.
I would
Pikcast.
love to.
I
You
would
wanna
love
get
to.
Arlo?
You know what? I actually wouldn't be against that either. Now that I
Great
think about it.
Arlo,
Get great
if you
food.
ever
Spam his comment section, guys.
hold on. Arlo, if you ever check out Pikcast, which I mean, I don't know if you would, but if you ever do, we would totally be welcoming to have you on a Pikcast.
On one condition, we don't want to be called Pikcast Hurts Me. That's the one condition.
Oh my gosh!
That's
Now
the
he's not
Dave.
going to,
That's the-
Dave.
Dave,
Now
That's
he's
the
not
only
going
thing
to.
that we
That
can
is-
do, hurt him.
If he was listening and that was his, yep, nope, he's done.
Please disregard whatever Dave just said.
Joking aside, though, it'd be
I
interesting.
do know we did try to get Chugga Conroy on. Like we messaged him on Twitter, and that was the furthest we ever got. But
Yeah.
if any, I don't know
He
if there's some way
responded
that
to one of our
Chugga-
things, I think.
Did he
God,
respond?
look at the Mamuda texture.
Yeah,
so
Mamuda looks really
rocky.
nice.
Well, I have my only
Eyes look out
problem.
of place.
My only problem
but-
is with the Mamuda because like they're supposed to be furry.
This person,
No,
No.
that is true, but a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, I think it's really just taking the textures that they have and then kind of enhancing it, but still.
Oh yeah. By the way, if a lot of people didn't know, the Mamuda actually is supposed to be a mammal. It's supposed to be like
A
covered in
mammal.
fur.
covered in fine, tiny hairs.
It went away. The video is gone. Oh,
Pick bin
I turned
hacking.
it off.
oh.
There you go.
Yeah,
I thought you were
but
gonna
it
put
looks
it-
beautiful. Go check out his channel. We'll have
His
the...
name is Henrico Magnifico.
Yeah, he's
And it is
Uh,
one
my
heck of a
mic
way to
is not
find one.
picking. Is my mic picking that up? Shit.
Bork, bork.
Bork, bork. Let me
Borko,
see if I can
Borko.
find.
yes.
Let me just
yes.
see if I
Alright.
can find his name so people can follow him. I think it's just Henrico Magnifico too on YouTube.
I have the
Link.
to his
All right. There we
video
go.
now in the description. They're being saved.
Alright.
Yep, it's in there.
Okay. So that is Henrico Magnifico. Check out his stuff. It's really good stuff. Next is another big thing in hacking, and this is made by Jimble.
Ooh.
And Jimble has made a, I'm assuming, Pikmin 2 cave editor.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a Pikmin 2 cave creator. I have
You
I've
can-
used it.
You can now create your own caves in Pikmin 2.
Do you want to
you
post some of
always
the
could.
pictures that quotes taken of some of the caves I made?
Yeah, I can do that. I'm also
Wait,
gonna
we
show
should
his
we should
trailer here.
clarify. You could always make your own custom caves in Pikmin 2, but what this tool does is it creates a user interface. So it's not just you looking at a text file. You can actually much easier use drop-down menus and different sections to customize your cave, even if you're not that familiar with how Pikmin 2 hacking works.
Mhm.
You
Here,
can make
I'll,
a cave of your dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it allows it for a larger.
You
amount
could
of
make
people.
your own dream den.
Yeah.
yeah,
if
this
you
actually
wanted
would be
to.
really, really cool for hacks and stuff like that, simply because it just would make things so much more fluid.
And it's free, right?
Yep,
It should
completely
so.
free.
I have his
Oh.
trailer playing here.
You have the trailer? Okay, we got the trailer.
Well, this is his updated version, his most recent version. The video for that, 1.1.
Ah, it's really
Some-
clean UI as well.
Oh, the one with the anime music in the
looks real
background?
nice.
I would also show the release trailer
Okay.
because that also just showcases what you can do with it. This is more of just what was changed trailer.
Mm.
But yeah, that's a fun way to make your own cave. So if anybody's ever wanted to make Pikmin 2 custom caves, now you can.
Yeah, it should be a lot easier
The
as
production
well.
value on this video is very good. Yeah, so go watch this.
Initially, I thought he was recording this with a cell phone camera because the text was all moving and
I
glowing.
know.
So I was like,
But yeah,
Oh,
it's
wow.
a really
Save
cool tool.
projects. What is this video?
Whoa.
Dude, can we have him like edit the next Pikcast? I want a
fine with
Pikcast
that.
to look like this.
I can't imagine what a Pikcast would look like if it looked like this.
It'd be like Pikcast, but every time somebody talks over someone else, the screen vibrates more.
Oh, it's gonna be the whole thing.
Let's see. But yeah, this actually looks really, really cool.
Yeah, this works. I don't remember the Glee spinner being that small.
Yeah, so this opens up a lot of
I mean,
opportunities
old stuff.
in the game.
Tiny Glee splitter.
He has a Patreon. Go support him on Patreon.
Yep.
Rest in pieces, Louis.
Louis dies.
Whoa.
So yeah.
All right, so I think that's it for
So that's
Pikmin hacking.
Well, no.
Nope, that's not it.
There's one more.
That's
There's
not
one
it.
more. So there's a little bit of backstory to this one. So we have a Twitter, Pikipedia Twitter. I don't know what that is. Go follow it if you're not already following it. If you have a Twitter, if you don't, make
We
a
post
Twitter and
trivia.
follow.
We post
Yeah,
trivia. You didn't know.
Yeah. So there's this guy named Mr. Tongwa. A couple other users do this, but Mr. Tongwa does it a lot. And anytime we post trivia, like, did you know? Like, do you have one of the examples, Nathan?
Yeah.
Did you know the Toady Bloister, when it dies, it actually is shrunken down very tiny on the stem and is still visible.
And basically, it's stuff like that. That specific instance, he didn't say it, but he usually will say, "Yes, I did."
Yeah.
Did
Well,
you
like,
know
once
in
you-
Pikmin
He
2's
always
title screen-
he always has to let us know that,
That
oh,
he
I
did.
already knew this.
And we think
So,
it's
for example,
hilarious.
Yeah, we
have
did.
a-
We love it.
It sounds like we're trying. It sounds like we're trying to be rude, but we're honestly not. Like, it's just something funny, and that's something that we want to just bring up.
like
Mr.
we made a
Tongwa.
post, right? Like it was like 200, about 200 Pikmin are in Pikmin
So,
2's title screen, and
Are
he
we
says yes or no.
gonna are we gonna show his hack now?
But he also has a hack.
Yes.
I believe I posted that in the Picord
That is in
Pikcast.
Pickord.
chat.
Or the Pikcast chat rather.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It is. Yeah, it should be one of the most recent one. Two.
It's the video.
Yeah, it's the Pikmin Tongwa.
Okay.
Tuongwa.
Tuongwa.
I'm liking this live format, guys. This is fun.
It's
Yeah,
fun.
It actually is quite nice.
We should do more of these.
Hey, it's quote.
Oh, here's a fun fact for you guys you might not actually have known. Can I give this one in this actual Pikcast for once?
What?
Here's a fun fact. Did you guys know, listeners and/or followers of Pikmin and Pikmin content, that Pikmin 3's title screen actually is the Awakening Wood from Pikmin 2, just remastered and clipped to be a small section?
Oh yeah. That was something that we found relatively recently, wasn't it?
Yeah, I popped up in the models and I was like, hey, this is
But,
the Awakening Wood.
Overall, I think that this hack is like it looks pretty nice. It's
Yeah.
not too far from the original Pikmin 2.
Yeah.
But they've done a few changes here and there that really add a lot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's, no shame on Pikmin 2 or anything. It does something completely different. They're both very great. But this one's awesome in its own way,
You can never have
Yeah.
too many hacks.
So it's really good to see all these
Too
different
many
hacks.
hacks. Oh, too many hacks.
So that's it for hacks and mods and stuff like that. Yeah, those are some cool things that have been released and everything. So the next thing we're going to talk about is art. Nathan, how long has it been since you've done the last community art?
Oh, the spotlight thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
community art.
I think
How
I
long
think
has
I
that been?
officially considered that as canceled. And we
When was
decided
the
that-
last one though? 2016.
It might have been 2015,
Was that the last one?
man. It might have been 2015.
But
I don't
we do
even
have
know.
two
been a
artists that
while.
we want to talk about. Well, to add three. There's one I forgot to add to our little reference sheet we have here. The first one we want to talk about is Axis. is how it's pronounced, AKXUZ. He's on DeviantArt, and he does kind of Pikmin fan ideas,
I'll try to
but
get some
as
of his stuff up here.
statues. It looks like we don't really know what kind of clay he uses and everything. See if you can show the crested makiwi and the wide-mouthed beetle.
Yeah.
Because the first ones he did were from Hey Pikmin, and he's done a lot of really cool other ones. Can you also post the one that's named Johnny? Just because I want that one. I like.
That's horrifying.
I like it. That one's not Pikmin related, but I like that one that he's done. But he does these really cool little
Whoop,
statues.
that's
once
not
we get
the
the
right
pictures up.
window. What happened? Oh, apparently it doesn't like full screen.
Oh, that was the chat. Live.
Chatception.
It looks like it should work. Okay, there we go.
This is gonna be a adventure to listen to on SoundCloud.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so here's like
his
his Makiwi.
his Makiwi, yeah. Very
Do you
nice.
have a picture of the
I
front?
have some more.
Do you have a picture of the Makiwi from the front?
You would just browse DeviantArt here.
Yep.
That's true.
Hang on. I want to give a quick backstory how we found this guy. So one day, CraftedPbody, Jordan, and I were just like alone on Discord, and we were like, you know what? Let's go to DeviantArt and just see if we can find some cringy bad art of Pikmin. So I just typed in Pikmin, and then I found this one thing that he created, and I was like, is that an actual Pikmin enemy from like Hey Pikmin that I just forgot about? So I looked at his channel. I looked at his channel, and then I found out about that he's this guy, and he creates like Pikmin ideas, but he makes them all as like little models, and a lot of them are actually like really cool.
Oh, that's a nice zoom in.
Yeah.
Very nice human.
Yeah, so
Okay,
here's his
yeah, so-
anode beetle.
Yeah, wide mouth anode beetle to be exact.
Mhm.
It's very nice. Yeah, it's the one from Hey Pikmin.
So he does some really cool things with
He
this,
does some
and then
original content.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure a lot of these creatures and stuff are meant to be, you know, based off Pikmin.
Yeah, well, yeah. A
Please
lot
just
of them
look
he
at
actually
Johnny.
doesn't even give them names. Well, like a
Yeah,
lot of
he
them,
just
yeah,
says-
he says like unknown PNF 404 thing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
and I think he calls them Wally Hops, so I think he's from Europe.
Yeah, he might be from the UK or just from PAL region.
Europe. But can you please show Johnny, just because I like that one?
All
No,
right.
please don't.
This
I
is
really
his
like
most recent one, which it's
I
interesting.
love this one. It's not a Pikmin enemy, but it's just one that I think needs to get shown off.
Are you sure it's not a Pikmin enemy?
I could be, honestly. This could be Pikmin 4 concept art right here. I
Yeah,
really
but
like
this
this.
thing is
it's good. It's
horrifying.
very impressive. Everything he does is
Yeah.
incredibly
Yeah, I
detailed.
almost wanted to.
art.
I almost wanted to get him, like, see if we could get him on Pikcast and talk to him about how he makes these, but I have a feeling that English probably isn't his first language.
It's possible. I mean, again, it's something we're open to, but
Yeah.
You know.
Hang on,
Very
so
cool.
scroll. Okay, yeah, okay, like that black fish thing with the red fins. That was the first one that I saw, and I saw that and I was like, wow, that really does look like. Yeah, the what is it called? The aquatic binocular,
binocular
fish.
fish.
And I was like, this actually does look like something out of Pikmin.
Yeah, so he does really, really cool stuff.
And I think this is like an original Makiwi.
Yeah, some of them.
Yeah.
Are like,
That one's really neat. All right.
So next, another artist we're going to want to talk about is Jason Lupus. His Pikmin art is kind of a lot more well known. Now that I think about it, I think I might have seen him in a Pikmin group on Facebook.
Yeah, he's been around for a long time, and that's kind of why we wanted to talk about him, because he's still going strong with these this art.
I would just like to address the chat. Pico Blank, this Pikcast will not include twerking and yeets.
well, maybe yeets, but not twerking.
Yeah.
There, that's the one
There.
you get. That's the one. But no, so Jason Lupus, you probably would recognize his art as soon as you saw it. He calls it Bigmin, not Pikmin, Bigmin.
So here it is on screen.
Yeah, once it.
One
Yeah,
of his-
so Bigmin are essentially a really cool idea of Pikmin essentially grow into giant trees that grow onions, and that's where the onions come from. Yeah, again, his art's been around for a few years now, and again, you would recognize it as soon as you see him. They're really, really cool and well done.
Yeah, I love his style. It kind of reminds me of the Splatoon artwork.
I can see that.
I think he should totally do some of that. Like, it's got that pastel look.
Mm-hmm.
It's really well done. And here's another
But
The chat wants to know what his name is again.
his name-
Jason Lupus. Jason and then Lupas.
yeah.
Yep. And I'll put his stuff in the description as well.
Mm-hmm. I
Well,
think his
like,
Tumblr is
hang
called
on,
Jason.
hang
Oh,
on.
it's jasonlupus.tumblr.com.
Addressing the person in the comments. His idea is that the Pikmin grow into like massive, colossal tree-like beings, and then the onions grow like fruits from their like the tree.
Yeah. And it's really, really cool.
Yeah,
I think he's done-
basically the
tree.
big colossal things are supposed to be the final like form of a Pikmin, essentially.
Yeah. I think he's done a piece of art for every type of Pikmin except for Rock and Wing.
Hey
Or Bulbmin
Nathan,
and Wing. He has done Rock.
you gonna put Bickman in
Yeah.
the description?
Okay. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's the art. So that's really cool. Check out Jason Lupus. And then, should I move on to the next one? Do you have the link for the next guy? Because I didn't put him in the.
No, go ahead and send me the link.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the next guy?
Someone send
So
me
this
the
guy,
link
he's
for
not on the
Pikmin
list.
too.
He's not on the list. I accidentally forgot to put him in. But his name, and I'm going to butcher this because I think
Oh, this guy! I've
Yeah.
seen this stuff before. I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
his name.
Yeah.
So his name is Nguyen88. I think that's how it's pronounced, or Guyan88. I think that's like Vietnamese kind of name, so I don't know how to pronounce that really. I could be wrong on that. But he does fan Pikmin ideas that are really, really cool.
Oh, these are some pretty. These are done
He
very
calls
well.
this Pikmon because he usually does Fakemon. But he did do a couple Pikmin enemies, and these are really, really cool.
Yeah, his art style's great.
Yeah. And he doesn't have too many, but he has done a really cool thing. And he doesn't name anything. He just calls it Pikmon number 6, 5,
Yeah.
13, etc. So he does some really, really cool stuff. I'm going to try to see... He does other things too, like Fakemon, and I think he also does logos and things, but that was just something that I wanted to point out because, you know, I think that they're really cool and should get some attention.
Yeah.
So that was the third artist to show off.
Yeah. And
So
he's pretty cool.
yeah.
I completely forgot about that guy.
Well, now you remember, and now you can follow him on DeviantArt.
Yes.
So next is something that we kind of been like, oh, we should talk about this, and then we never did. So now here we are. Hey, Pikmin.
Yeah.
Oh
Something to
boy.
talk about.
We have
Yeah,
a bunch.
Pikmin.
There are mixed feelings going.
Opinion across the board, which I think is understandable because it is such a new thing, a new idea. Hey, Pikmin came out in August,
July 28th.
July 28th. Hey,
Yep.
Pikmin came out, and it is a very unique game. I just want to reiterate right here, right now, it is not Pikmin 4. Nintendo confirmed like 3 or 4 times.
Actually, okay, I don't mean to be that guy, but we were actually talking about this in the chat not too long ago. Miyamoto to this day still has not ever directly stated that that Hey Pikmin is not Pikmin 4. That being said, anyone that's smart enough to open a door should be able to tell you that it's not.
Yeah,
it's-
because it's not even made by a first-party team.
And they've
Yeah.
It's
confirmed
made
multiple
by-
times after the fact that Pikmin 4 is still in development.
Yeah. It was made by Niantic. I think that's how you pronounce it. They're the ones who made Yoshi's New Island, Yoshi's Island DS. I
Is
can't
that
remember the
No,
name.
confirmed?
no,
Is that
they didn't.
confirmed?
They didn't make Yoshi's Island DS.
They did. I thought I remembered.
Different
They might-
company.
I thought it was because I know that their company was changed at one point.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, it's Art
something anymore.
Sass.
Yeah, that's right. But It was made by them, which a lot of people are like their games are but I mean, again, opinions are opinions. And there are definitely things that the game does well, and there are things that the game does not do well. I think that's with any game. But I guess we could just run down the board.
Yeah, so as Cherry Steak says in chat, music is good. Music's pretty decent.
I've noticed that a lot of lackluster 3DS games, a lot of times their saving grace is the soundtrack.
Is
that
music.
that was the same with Paper Mario Sticker Stars. Like, think of what you will about that game, but the music was awesome.
Yeah.
I loved the music in that game.
Yeah.
But so like I guess I can start with my opinion of Hey Pikmin. So like okay, so like the gameplay I enjoyed. Like it was one of those games that like I wasn't like I was dying to play more of Hey Pikmin, but I would be like if I was playing the game, I'd be like, okay, this is pretty this is a fun game. You know, it's nothing, you know, brain breaking. You know, it's not a revolution. I mean, it's kinda something new in games, but for me it's just like I was like, okay, this is a pretty good game. Pretty fun.
Yes.
There are definitely some things it felt short, although there was still a lot to do for it being a bit short. The music was good. I really liked the enemies. Enemies were, in my opinion, really well done, and they fit the world. Like it felt like whoever was doing the translations, or if it was in the original, you know, Japanese version of the game, like they just went and binge played Pikmin 1 beforehand.
Yeah, it definitely had
It
a
was
lot
very-
of Pikmin 1 and 3 feel to it.
Yeah,
There's a lot of stuff relating to Pikmin 2 as well, though.
yeah, like it felt like it was like it feels like a canon Pikmin game. Well, I don't know about canon, but it feels like a Pikmin fan game.
I'd say it feels like a Pikmin game, just not. It doesn't play like one. Like for
Yeah.
example, if you were to take all the enemies that are in Hey Pikmin and put them in a normal
A
Pikmin
lot of them
format,
would
a lot
function.
of them would work perfect. Like they would work like just fine.
Really well. Yeah, it felt like a Pikmin fan game. Which, if you think about it, a third-party spin-off is a fan game. So like,
Well,
it fit that niche.
well, they're getting paid for it, so it's a bit different.
I mean,
Fan
yeah, but I
games
mean,
are
it's-
passion projects.
That's true.
The one thing that worries me though is its sales numbers don't even hit 1 million if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's a lot of games.
It
Yeah.
doesn't hit 1 million.
But I mean, you know, basically what I guess in my review, it was an okay start. It obviously wasn't. Cake said Arzest. Sorry, Arzest.
Arzest.
So, I said Niantic earlier. Arzest,
Originally called R-Tunes. Now
That's
they're
right.
called
Yeah.
Arzest.
My bad. But it's an okay start. It definitely opens the gate to more. I would like to see more Pikmin spin-offs. I mean, there are people who are like, I don't want to see a Hey Pikmin 2. I would like to see
hang
a
on,
Hey Pikmin 2.
I have a
expand.
quick question. I have a quick question for people that dislike Hey Pikmin. I'm not trying to like sound like I'm attacking them, but something that I always tell the people that dislike Hey Pikmin is I always say we knew that eventually there was going to be a Pikmin spin-off. Like what did you think that was going to look like? Because like honestly what Hey Pikmin is, that's exactly how I always knew a Pikmin spin-off would
One
be.
of the complaints that I usually see is that it's too similar to the main game, but not close enough. It's basically just Pikmin with only the
basics.
Pikmin simplified minus
right.
a plane.
Yeah, it's in a weird gray area for spin-off. When you say Pikmin spin-off, I actually tend to think of the Pikmin 2 e-reader games. And,
I love those.
And how they could potentially make an entire game revolving around puzzle concepts like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's kind of what Jordan was saying. Is like they tried to be too similar to the original franchise, and it ended up making it worse for them. When if they had a more original idea with the series, they could have made something more interesting.
I think See, but I think they also did though. I think they kind of took the bull by the horns by trying to make a 2D Pikmin game, not from a top-down perspective, from a side perspective. Which again, I think it did well in that aspect.
Yeah, for what they could do, I think they did.
Yeah,
well.
I mean, there's something like that. And I do want to say, someone in this said that if they put it on the Switch, it would have gotten better. It wouldn't have worked on the Switch because I don't think it was made. It was made specifically with touch controls in mind, which I mean, the Switch has touch control. Yeah, like touch control isn't the major thing of the Switch unless it was only in handhold.
They have to be able to sell a game too, you know. So
yeah. So I think it was definitely a good. I mean, I don't want to say good 3DS game, but I think it was like good that it was on the 3DS. Especially I want to say towards the end of 3DS's lifetime because it has to die soon. But close.
I kind of want to go into like my only problems with Hey Pikmin because I loved the game. I thought it was fun like from the beginning. But as I've been getting into the like later levels, there are some things that I feel could have been better. For example, this game was not optimized for a normal 3DS. This was optimized for the new 3DS. So certain levels lag like really bad because of the particle effects that they have in the level. One such level being this level that rains later on in the game. And it wouldn't be that big of a problem if the level wasn't hectic. In this level, there are these jelly float enemies that will constantly keep spawning out of thin air, and they will crush your Pikmin. And you have to keep dealing with these. And at the end of the level, they throw literally everything at you all at once. So there are some things that I feel could have been done much better, especially like in some of the level design. But overall, I would say that it's a good game.
I can't tell you how many times. Oh, sorry.
I didn't like the game, to be honest. It didn't click with me. I mean, I played all the way through it. I 100%ed it even, and it was tedious. It didn't feel fun. It's just not my kind of game.
Most games are a chore to 100%.
Yeah,
I would not say most games are chore to 100%. If a game is really good and you really like a game, it's not a chore. In fact, I've finished games before and wish there was more content.
Okay, what I would like to see is some of the enemies that came in Hey Pikmin. I'd like to see them in a future Pikmin game.
Yeah, I would like to see them in a main game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think quote says it the best. I like the game, but wouldn't play it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, okay, I'll be honest. I didn't beat it, and I actually have no idea where it is. But I didn't dislike it. I don't at all getting it, especially because I got the amiibo, which is really awesome.
How far in did you get, Luther?
I think I got to the beginning of the third world. I just beat the elongated water dumple.
Yeah, my three favorite parts about this game: 1, the music, as we discussed earlier. 2 are the data logs. I've really enjoyed reading through it. That was my main drive for collecting all the treasure. It felt like a chore because it wasn't fun. I had to redo levels over again. But I loved reading those dialogue for all the treasure and all the amiibos too. The amiibos were hilarious. I really like that. I wish they would have written some of the things better. Some of them aren't exactly... They kind of go against the main flow of the series. Like, some of them are a little contradictory. And they also kind of portray Olimar to be kind of a wimp. A little bit. So it could have been written better, but a lot of it was written really well, and I really liked that. And then the third reason I liked the game is because we got an amiibo from it.
Can I just... Okay, this is something that I just thought of. I really liked the little overworld maps that they made for each world. Yes. I thought those were really, really nice, and they added a lot to the world. Where is my amiibo?
I would like to just say that I think that they could have made Pikmin Park... They can still do something with it. They should make Pikmin Park a phone game.
Yeah,
Or make
Yeah.
a phone game
the
based on
idea
it.
of Pikmin Park is really cool, and I think it could actually be its own like thing. Like if they
It'd
wanted to
have to
make
be
like a mobile
updated
game.
heavily, but
Oh yeah, for
the
sure.
concept
But I mean,
behind
like,
it is
Yeah.
would be a great mobile game. You're right.
and I know that people hate phone games, but like, you can do. Like, I've been playing Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, and it is. I've never played an Animal Crossing, but I think it's super super fun. So like, uh, it's just like I lost my train of thought there. Oh, it's just that I think if they were to make it into a phone game, it would make it a lot more fun. Because I remember like I really enjoy like thinking about it. I was like, oh yeah, I get to put more stuff into the Pikmin Park. This is gonna be so cool. And then I was like, oh, there's no more. Okay. I just want to say I agree with the idea of fiery young yellow Wallyhog for Smash 5.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Okay, I want to address that actually. The whole thing with fiery young yellow Wollywog. So
okay,
the
all the other
okay,
enemies I was
hold on,
fine with,
hold on,
except for that one.
hold on. So the name and like the actual idea of the enemy, it's kind of dumb and very. When you think of it, you probably think of like what something that a little kid would make on Pikmin Fanon.
Or like
Though the actual idea of an enemy that does both fire and crushing seems like a good idea to me, and I understand why you would do that. Now, not necessarily in the case of Hey Pikmin, since
It makes sense
Pikmin.
in game design. It doesn't make sense in Pikmin design. I think is a good way to...
No, hold on. Let me finish.
Yeah.
In the case of Hey Pikmin, it doesn't really make sense because rock Pikmin aren't immune to crushing anyways in that game. But in main game, I would totally be behind an enemy that does both fire damage and crushing, because when you have rock Pikmin, Wallywogs are a joke. Like, you can just take them out without having to worry about them. You would, in a case of an enemy that's on fire but does crushing as its attack, you would need to fight it with reds, but you'd still have to worry about something. And that's where I think that, like, the idea behind the enemy, like, I don't like how they pulled it off, but the actual like concept of a fire and crushing enemy is a good idea.
Anyone else have anything to say about?
Yeah,
Hey, Beat.
I'm good.
Go, Dave.
Is it Kevin talk about Hey Pikmin a little bit?
Yeah, go, Dave.
Okay, so I love Pikmin. I love Pikmin 2. I thought Pikmin 3 was acceptable, but not worth the 9-year wait. But Hey Pikmin, oh boy. Okay. Beautiful.
Immediately loud nigger screams.
Beautiful art direction. Beautiful sound direction. Level design was difficult at times. At times, I would go up to like a level, go into like some secret little area. I'm like, oh, what's up here? And it's nothing. It's the boundary of the screen. I would go up to these beautiful areas, like climb really high, do all these impossible maneuvering things, and there's nothing up there.
Yeah.
So I was kind of mad about that.
Also, Joe's internet is having issues, and he wrote out in the chat. For me, I think the game was okay, and the concept of it is great. Yet I feel as if it falls too short on the mechanics used, and the Pikmin themselves are too squishy, as in they die too quickly, and other elements also drag it down. That's Joe's 2 cents on Hey Pikmin.
Yeah, I agree with most of that. Although I have never actually picked up the game, I played the demo and it just really didn't click with me, and I've gone and watched playthroughs. Still doesn't click with me.
Actually, now thinking back on it, one of my other problems with the game is a lot of stuff that is previously established in the series. They, like, traits of Pikmin, I'm saying.
They retconned or forgot them. Yeah.
Yeah, they either retconned them or they forgot them, and like for example, the fiery blowhog, if I'm remembering correctly, could kill red Pikmin.
No.
Mm-mm.
No?
Or are you talking about in Hey Pikmin or in?
In Hey Pikmin. If I'm remembering correctly, the projectiles that it shoots can kill red Pikmin.
Are you talking about the boss?
Yes, the boss.
Yeah, the boss could.
Which doesn't make sense because why are they dying to fire?
Well, there's also it doesn't make sense for there to be like a 30-foot tall fiery blowhog.
Yes.
But then there's also, for example, the armor, which crushes Pikmin, but the Pikmin you get to fight it are rock Pikmin, and they can still die. I have a
One
few
thing
problems.
I just kind of
Like
just
I
thinking
said,
about it.
there's a lot
Oh.
of contradictions in this game.
Yeah, one thing that I'm kind of just curious about. I'm wondering how much time they had to make this game. Like, just now like thinking about it, because if they were like, oh yeah, you have to make a game in like under a year, because they are a small company. You know, I mean, I don't want to say it's fine for these problems to have happened, but I would be more understanding of some of these issues if it was like they had a limited amount of time
Yeah.
or something like that. Because I mean, because again, there is a point where it's like, you know, like Splatoon 2 was made in less than a year. But
Yeah, some games are made insanely quickly. Actually, for those who don't know, Pikmin 3, the final game that we got was actually made in 10 months.
But Pikmin 3's development cycle took 9 years.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like the actual game they developed on Wii U. Like the final
Yeah.
one that we got was only developed in 9 months. Like it's actually insanely quick.
yeah,
And, yeah. I'm not sure how
Something like
long they
that.
took, because I mean, if you think about it, well, they
When did
first
we
showed
first
they
hear about it?
first showed off the game in September 1st, 2016, and it was listed as Q1 of 2017, and we didn't get it until like I think the beginning of Q3 of 2017.
And there's unused content in it, a lot of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of unused content.
A lot
Like,
of
I think,
cool
like,
looking unused content.
yeah, like a lot of them look completely finished. It's actually weird.
We did talk about that, didn't we, in the last Pikcast?
We did not, because the last Pikcast was at the party before the game even came out.
yeah.
Oh.
We found out. I remember because it was following the curse of the live meetup where we find out about news after we do the live
That's right.
thing,
think
which
we
happens
were-
every time.
We were planning to do that, but we never got around to it. By
Yeah,
the way, we're back.
Yeah, we're back.
and we're live.
You know, we were going to do a whole thing. Are we gonna do that?
A whole what?
Wait, what?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So we're finally back
Oh, yeah.
performing for you.
Stop. Continue.
It's a live version of the Pikcast crew.
I wasn't paying attention to what you guys were saying.
Okay. Also, okay. Let me just quickly read what Cameron had to say. He agrees with Jordan. I feel like RZS just did surface level research of Pikmin and didn't check far enough to realize that rock Pikmin are immune to being crushing. Also, buds and flowers have no point to them. It may also be the reason why purple and white Pikmin weren't included, because they weren't prominently advertised for Pikmin 3.
I will
That's
say
what
the
he
thing
said.
with the crushing is because they needed Pikmin that could break down obstacles, but if you remember correctly, rock Pikmin were pretty powerful in Pikmin 3 to being immune to crushing.
Okay,
And, like,
if
That
I
was
could,
their whole advertising point, though.
okay, I really think that we should move on, but let me just clear this up by saying, so you guys know that meme of Double D opening the book of facts? Imagine that right now, and he opens the book and it says, "Hey, Pikmin isn't canon" on the inside. So none of this matters,
Can
because
we get someone in the chat to make that meme?
and
Well,
also
that's the
I
strange
saw in the chat, I saw in the live chat earlier somebody say, in the end, "Hey, Pikmin is completely harmless. You can just ignore it."
Yeah.
Like it's not
So,
like if
I mean,
you didn't like one of the main Pikmin games, that's something. But if you didn't like Hey Pikmin, that's not a big deal.
yeah.
Also, these enemies would be a wonderful addition to the series, but if they're not added, that's okay.
And no, I know we already gave him crap earlier. I'm not going to say the name, but you know, Hey Pikmin existing does not hurt the Pikmin franchise.
Not at all.
If
Not one bit.
anything, it makes it better because that shows that Nintendo is open to spin-offs
Yeah.
of it. It
Yep.
has
Well,
regained
you know
the
that
series,
he
and they're willing
amended
for
that,
spin-offs.
right?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
know,
it doesn't-
I know.
He doesn't want to mention who he's talking about. But even if your hopes are low, I mean, like it doesn't really matter.
Loser!
That was way too good. I'm sorry.
But
Loser, you're gonna get some Sparkium, because damn, that was one heck of a burn.
Jesus. It took me a second too. Like I was just like, why did you get close to your? Oh,
I certainly thank you.
Survival ointment time.
yeah. I think we're good with talking about
Yeah.
Hey Pikmin. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
game.
It's a
Definitely
game.
try out if you want to
It's
get
a
it.
game.
Definitely try out the demo. I'm pretty sure at like GameStop or something now, it's probably really cheap on discount.
Yeah. Bottom
Um,
line, Hey Pikmin's an okay game. It's passable, and if you don't like it, it's not a tragedy, and it does not affect the main series at all.
series at all.
And even if you hate it, go listen to the OST because it sounds very,
Oh,
very
yes.
on point.
Really, really nice.
The OST,
Uh,
especially the secret levels, sound wonderful.
All right. Next is the most recent big news from 2 days ago with more info on the Switch. There was a Nintendo Direct. That one was crazy. I didn't watch it live, but I do know of what went on, and I watched trailers.
I need to take a break because
3DS.
Untitled sent me something that is important, actually.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry, we pause in Pikcast or?
No, I'm putting it up on the screen of Pikcast here in
Oh.
just a second.
Okay.
Yeah, this is for everybody.
Wait.
Here we go. Luther especially needs to take a
Oh.
look.
I'm now like looking up
it hasn't showed on the screen for me just yet.
It'll be there momentarily.
Beautiful.
This is what we needed. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Untitled.
Thank you,
That's
Untitled.
exactly what I needed. Thank you, Untitled. That is
Wonderful.
exactly what everybody needed to see.
Wonderful.
By Dr. Kent Webb. Hey, Pikmin isn't canon. All right.
Thank you, Dr. Kent, wherever you are.
Sorry for that brief intermission, Josh.
Oh,
Okay.
someone else also
So-
made the meme. Someone else also made the meme.
Oh, great.
Oh, great. Meme requests?
We are
Thank you for
we
everybody
are
that
getting meme
contributed.
submissions. This one is made by Boney Zoni.
Oh, nice.
Let's see, where is Nathan?
Submit your memes live.
Here you go.
Live submissions. Can we just have this running 24/7 and people just send us memes?
4 out of 5 Pogos.
We will show some memes. Keep them coming. We love them.
Yes. Guaranteed.
Well, not
Guaranteed quality meme. View.
Yeah, you have to put effort into the
It
meme.
has to be quality.
Like I listened to a 46-minute long SoundCloud mega meme mashup. That kind of quality.
Here's another one. Oh my gosh.
Are people making more?
This one's bad. Ikman 2.
Oh no.
Oh, yes, Ikman, my favorite.
Fucking
Pick
I make
ass.
whatever videos I want. Pikcast hurts me.
We love
Somebody made
you.
that? Somebody did it!
Pikmin
Oh my
2.
God.
Somebody link me this thing. I gotta see it.
It's on the live stream.
I don't have
Post
a link. God damn it.
Post it in the chat. Post it in the chat. In our.
I'll post the meme in the chat. Yeah.
Also,
Okay,
Boney
hang on a
Zoni,
s- hang
I
on a
am
s-
not your dad.
Yeah. Also, hang on. I just want to address something really quick. That's actually it's not. I'm not gonna say serious, but it's important. Okay, so Cameron just posted something here in our Discord. If they can port Luigi's Mansion, they should port Pikmin 1 and 2. I'm gonna argue against that. It's for one really clear reason, because they're two very different games. Pikmin 1 and 2 were RTS games that require a top-down field. And one of the reasons that we were able to have that on a home console is because 480p resolution is like the bare minimum. Imagine the camera trying to pan out on the 240p screen. Like each Pikmin would literally be a pixel. Like, and not to mention the very fact that it has only half the resolution. The camera would have to be forcibly zoomed in.
And it lacks
More
a
s-
C-stick.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
you
if you're getting
could
the
make it work.
standard,
Yeah,
if
you
you
could
have
make it
just
work
like the
on
standard,
3DS.
yeah, like on the new 3DS it would work. But if you have like a standard 3DS, or I don't think the 2DS does the 2DS XL have a control stick?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Oh, does it? Okay. Well, I know the 2DS doesn't. If you were to have something like that, first off, the 2DS probably wouldn't even be able to run it well, and then second off, you'd still be missing out on the control stick. So
Yeah.
like, I mean, it would be a good idea, but
Yeah, honestly, I think it'll be much better if they just remade Pikmin 1 and 2 for the Switch eventually, or if they ever do finally have Virtual Console, put like GameCube games on a Virtual Console and give those, because the things that are interesting about Pikmin 1 and 2 is that I think they're one of the few games for the GameCube.
Oh, hey.
Hang on. They're one of the few first-party games, I should say, that don't make use of the analog triggers. So you could port them to the Switch just fine, I think.
Hey,
Well, technically they do use them, but it's just for slow camera panning. So.
Aeroblaze is in the chat.
Hi, Aeroblaze.
Hi, Aeroblaze.
We miss you.
Been a while.
Yeah.
Xenoblade's looking great, man.
Yep. Why, did he work on it or something?
No, but also,
his dad's Nintendo, so.
Yeah, his dad is Nintendo. The whole Nintendo, everything.
Should we go back to the
Yeah.
The Direct.
Nintendo Direct, guys, happened last week.
Guys, the Direct. Luigi's Mansion 3DS.
Yeah.
So one thing I want to bring up that people were complaining that it was released on the 3DS. One thing that actually Scruffy brought this up was that you can have now both Luigi's Mansion games on one device.
Yeah, and they even said that in the Direct. They literally said that the reason they did that is because they wanted all the fans of Dark Moon who didn't get to play the first game to now have the first game. And not to mention, not to mention, they had the Dark Moon engine there. It was easy to put it on the 3DS.
Yeah. That's right.
And like it's kind of also like when they were to port when they ported like Pokemon Red and Blue or Gold and Silver, it's so that people who played Pokemon, there are people who are better at Pokemon than me, and I'm like, my first game was Sapphire, and there are people who just like their first Pokemon game is Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and if they want to experience the old days, they could get Gold, Silver, Red, Blue on 3DS.
Yeah,
because it's now available.
I would
move those Pokemon to newer games when they're ready.
Yeah,
ports aren't a bad thing because it just means that you can now have your older roster of games on your newer console.
Bad ports are a bad thing, but
bad ports
okay, well, yeah.
Sure.
But I'd argue that the Luigi's Mansion does not use the Dark Moon engine. It just uses Dark Moon assets and models and stuff, and that it uses an updated version of the GameCube engine, because they're two different games for them to use.
Well,
yeah,
that
is
true.
true.
Use the engine as a base, and then you change the assets.
Modify it.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They use the original engine.
And then one thing that I was saying with this too was that it could be like what happened with Metroid, where it's just like, oh yeah, here's a 3DS port, and by the way, the next game in the franchise is coming out next year, and it's going to be a big deal. Or when they did the Metroid 2 remake on 3DS, and then they announced Metroid Prime 4. It could mean that, maybe there's a Luigi's Mansion 3 on the way because they're suddenly giving Luigi's Mansion 1 attention.
That'd be great.
Yeah, and that's just something that I was thinking of because...
Which we had... That game is 17 years old. 17.
Jesus.
That game had the trailer for the first game of Pikmin on it.
Yeah. Also, Dave was saying, guys, what if they...
Guys, what if they have a trailer for Pikmin 4?
Yeah, it's like they just low-key reveal Pikmin 4. Like, they don't mention it on YouTube or like any of their social media or any big announcement. It's just they have a trailer there on Luigi's Mansion 3DS.
Kind of the first Pikmin.
Yep.
Also, wait. They're bringing back the beta gallery and the mission mode, at least for the bosses, that were removed in the original release.
Wait. So are they going to have EHL finally?
I hope. We don't know. I hope. But at least those two aspects are coming back in some regards. That's really exciting.
I don't think it's the beta gallery. I think they just redesigned it.
Well, let me define what I mean. Like, the beta gallery originally had the portraits facing the player, but they realized that wouldn't work on the GameCube. But now they're like, you know what? Let's just do it again.
Oh, right.
I know what you're saying, though.
Oh, ELH. Wait, is that... Oh, I said EHL. My bad.
Yeah.
They are adding a boss rush mode though, so there's definitely going to be new content.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
I'm actually pretty glad about that.
Oh, we got to tell them about our joke that we made, that somebody made here. That we're gonna go look in the options of Luigi's Mansion.
Oh, wait.
And we're gonna look in the.
Joke.
Oh, did you guys already say it?
Yeah, that was my joke. Sorry.
I missed it.
Oh, the Pikmin 4.
Missed it.
It's okay. Well, yeah. Make the joke.
Or it's Hey Pikmin 2.
Trailer.
No, it's still a trailer for Pikmin 1, and it's for HD.
Yeah, dude. What if that like they low key just release Pikmin? Like they never even announced that Pikmin 1 and 2 is on the Switch. It's just like low key in there, and then we're just browsing the Switch, and it's like, when did Pikmin get here? But okay, so that was one thing. What else was brought up? I don't want to talk about Splatoon and that stuff yet. I want to kind of say,
Undertale.
Tell me.
okay, yeah, a bunch of ports. Undertale's coming to the Switch.
I'm excited.
South Park: The Fractured Butthole is coming to the Switch. I
Okay,
wonder
that
if
one
there-
was
I
a
wonder-
very surprising one.
Actually, I kind of figured that one.
Well,
Okay,
no. It's surprising that they showed that during a
Okami.
direct.
Oh yeah.
Okami.
Also, I just want to say, if anyone here doesn't know who DocTray81 is, he's like this YouTuber who does a lot of Nintendo stuff. He's kind of like a hardcore Nintendo fanboy, but lately he's been right about a lot of things. Like he's actually like leaked stuff. Like he leaked the Fractured Butthole coming out on Switch. He leaked Crash Bandicoot coming to the Switch. He leaked all these things and no one believed him. And then the direct hit and he was right about everything.
Was that the person who also confirmed the release date of the Marina and Pearl amiibo?
No, that wasn't him.
Because there was someone that confirmed that, and they also confirmed the Sushi game. And
Gucci Gang?
Which
the
Nathan?
sushi game.
Which Nathan's in? Nathan, you're in that game, right? You're
Oh yeah,
Sushi-
I'm apparently in that game. I forget,
Oh yeah.
I forget what it's called. I don't even remember.
Sushido.
Yeah, Sushido.
Sushido. Did they talk about that game like on the Wii U?
I think no.
It was originally coming to 3DS only,
3DS.
but they
Oh,
confirmed that
that's
it's
okay.
also coming to
Oh,
the Switch.
By the way, that reminds me. So something that wasn't on. I'm surprised this wasn't on the direct because it was announced shortly after the direct. But Outlast 1 and 2, which are two like survival horror games, are coming to the Switch. And what's interesting to note is that I think it was just last night the creators of the game were like praising the Switch. They said it was really easy to port to, and they actually ported the game in literally just a few weeks. And it
Which is
runs like
impressive.
it runs at a full 1080p and everything. Like it looks.
And
really
I
That's
just
probably why it wasn't in the direct. Because they did
I
it
just-
so
Oh,
quickly,
yeah,
it didn't
that's
get in
true.
fast enough.
That's true.
I just want
And-
to share something with like my college and everything. I have worked with seeing how games would work on devices. And if anyone had heard when the Switch was first revealed, there were interviews where developers were saying how surprising it was for the beta Switch to work so well.
Mm-hmm.
And that is simply because the consoles are like the beta for consoles are so broken. Like PlayStation 4 is the hardest console to get a game to work on if you're trying to port it over, because the PlayStation 4 prototype is like 7 years old. It's 2 years older than the PlayStation 4, and like is basically running off of hamsters in like hamster wheels. So like when seeing developers saying that the Switch is easy to use, their beta, their test, what is it called? Test
Development
model
kits.
out,
Development
development
kits.
kits out.
Prototype.
Kits.
Like, yeah, that's really good to see, because that means that there will be so many more games. I mean, if Wolfenstein 2 and like Skyrim and
Doom.
Doom can get onto the Switch, even though Skyrim and Doom can run on anything, like Wolfenstein 2 like being ported to the Switch, and people actually saying like it runs really well. Like, sure, it's not 30 FPS, but like it runs well. And
Well,
or sure, it's 30
30 FPS. Yeah.
yeah, it is 30 FPS, and but it like runs well. That's like really good, just for
Yeah,
long
like
term.
the very fact that they were able to get Doom working on the Switch at all is like still amazing to me.
Yeah.
Like,
But
the whole
what
thing
else
is
happened?
really
What
good.
else was on the direct?
Let's see. They talked about. I had never heard of this game, but apparently a lot of people are hyped for it. Little Nightmares is coming to the Switch.
Oh, yeah, Little
and
Nightmares.
It's
Really
gonna have like a
cool.
new mode, and it comes with all the DLC. They announced that Octopath Traveler is finally coming out. I forgot the release date. And
Speaking of release dates, I'm surprised that they didn't go over what the release date for Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze on Switch is going to be.
Oh god, I hope they don't waste time doing that on E3.
We'll hear about it eventually.
Yeah,
they-
That'll probably be like something they post on Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They also announced that the release date of Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition is, I believe it's May 25th. I think that's what they said.
I think so. Yeah, it's in May.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I
Octopath.
might actually finally pick it up. If there's online multiplayer, I will for sure pick it up.
Octopath is confirmed for July 13th.
July
That,
13th.
that's right. Yeah.
Wait,
Can't wait for E3 to be about. Like, hey
shoot.
guys.
Wait.
Wait, that's E3.
That's-
No, wait, July.
No,
not June.
July 13th. That's the day before the meetup.
Yeah, it is.
Oh no.
Hey, that's a
Oh.
transition.
Also, that's the day that Pikmin 3 came out in Japan. When it first came out.
I'm just imagining now, like at the meetup, we're gonna pick up Jordan. He's just gonna come out in a Donkey Kong costume, and it's gonna be like dun 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 dun, just like playing like Donkey Kong music in the background as he like
God.
comes down.
Where did this come from?
We were talking about Project Octopath Traveler.
Oh wait, no, I thought Tropical Freeze comes out. No, we don't.
No.
That's okay. I misinterpreted information.
Yeah.
Captain Toad
Yeah.
comes out on the same day as Octopath
Oh, yeah,
Traveler
Captain
as
Toad,
well.
and
Yeah,
it's,
that's right, there's
and
I'll
it's
come-
also coming out on
I'll
3DS.
come off the plane with a toad cap on.
And it just said. wait, was that Joe? I thought that was Joe. I was like, did Joe's net just start
That
working
was
again?
Joe, I
Just-
That was Joe.
Oh my god, thank you, Joe.
You're welcome. If
Um,
here's my thoughts. If Captain Toad was ported to the Switch, I don't know what Wii U game won't be ported to the Switch.
Yeah, because
And
the
I
thing
s-
is,
I saw a joke saying that they want to get a refund on their Wii U because it's just the Switch beta.
Yeah.
Really though.
Also, yeah. Okay, hang on. I want to quickly cover two questions so we don't waste time on them. So the first thing is where's Pikmin 3 on the Switch? Pikmin 3 needs to have its the gamepad functionality reworked because people always seem to forget. I'm actually surprised because Game Explained did a video talking about like what Wii U games will come next, and when they brought up Pikmin 3, they were like, "Well, Pikmin 3 isn't a game that really uses the gamepad," and I was like, "I'm sorry," because if you've ever played Pikmin 3, like there's literally points in the game where you have to like it directs your attention to the gamepad, and you can't
You
progress
You
without
can't
it.
even start the game.
Well, I mean
without having a
that's
gamepad.
easy to
And
do. It's
also-
like it's a screen within a screen kind of thing. And also, if you've been playing on gamepad only, in order to access the map, you just press down on the D-pad and it pauses, and you.
Well, I
Yeah,
think he's
all they
more
have to
like the
do-
touchscreen functionality and stuff because like touchscreen only works if you're in handheld mode on the Switch.
Yeah,
touch-
I think
well,
I
okay.
think what they should
I-
do. Oh, I'm sorry, what were you saying, Kate?
Oh well, analog stick controls on the map in Pikmin 3 shouldn't be hard to do.
Yeah.
It's honestly
Yeah, what I really think they should do is just change the pause menu to be like the interface that Pikmin 2 has, and like how Pikmin 2 has the map, just make that like the interactable map. And the other thing I wanted to bring up is the reason we're getting all these ports is because there's a lot of people that have the Switch that never got the Wii U. There's all these people I keep seeing on Facebook and all over the internet and all over social media like, good, why are all these ports coming out? I want some new games. I'm like, okay, well, they're not for you. They're for the people that have a Switch that didn't get the Wii U. And if you're somebody that didn't get a Wii U and is complaining about the ports, this wouldn't be happening if you bought a Wii U.
And also, we have plenty of new games.
Yeah,
really.
there's like
Yeah.
3 new games being added like a week.
besides that,
Kirby's coming out, I think, in like 4 days. Is it the 16th?
Really? Is it that early?
really?
Kirby
Wow.
All Star? Yeah.
You-
the
I mean, I don't
16th.
care about Kirby, but good for y'all if y'all like Kirby.
Or 5 days, I guess.
But okay, I just want to say, why do people even complain about getting new games? If you don't
Because-
want to play them, then you don't have to buy them. It's not like it doesn't harm you that a new game gets released or
And
like a port.
there's a chat I'm in, and I always hate Sony boys and Nintendo. I always hate that term, but there are people in there who are diehard Sony fans. Nothing against that. I personally am not a fan of some things that Sony does. I'm not a fan of a good portion of Sony games. There's nothing wrong with being a Sony fan. And they would say like, "Wow, I can't believe they released the Switch with new games," and I'm like, they were releasing 2 new games a week to the Switch, and they have announced partnerships with over 48 different companies on day 1 of its release.
Yeah, it's, the
Where
whole
does
thing is
this
stupid.
no games on the Switch come into play? You can't bring the Wii U meme. That meme died with the Wii U back in 2015. That meme doesn't apply.
Yeah, there's honestly just too much to play now. Like, especially as a Wii U owner, I didn't pick up all of the original Wii U games, and I'm getting some of the ports like Bayonetta 2, and I'm just really enjoying them. There's just so much
Yeah.
to play.
Yeah, I've been
And again,
playing.
like-
I've been playing way too much of Bayonetta 1 and 2.
But yeah, But I think we should move on to this and then talk about the big things in the direct.
Yeah.
First, we will talk about the Octo expansion.
Best part of the direct.
Yeah,
my
which
opinion.
was like super dramatic and everything. For those of you who don't know, who didn't see the direct, what's it? So essentially, it is a story mode DLC. It's the first paid DLC of Splatoon. It comes with 80 missions, and you play as Agent 8 in, as far as we're aware, an Octoling girl who wakes up with amnesia on a train.
Subway.
And she has essentially. There's going to be. It was confirmed on the Splatoon Tumblr that there are 80 missions.
Yeah, and they also straight up said that on the direct.
Yeah. Oh, I don't. Again, I didn't see the direct, but there's going to be 80 missions in there, and if you complete all 80, you can play as Octolings in Splatoon 2. I think I personally am really excited for this simply because I have not had the best experience with online in Splatoon 2, and I really, really enjoy the story of just Splatoon single player.
Same.
And I stopped playing Splatoon 2 for, oh god, when I think I last picked it up in November was when the last time I played it, because there were so many disconnection issues either from my end, or games would be super lopsided because one or two people would disconnect from my team, and it's a guaranteed loss no matter what. And I've been playing it again the past few days. Everyone here and probably my next door neighbors know I still have gripes with the game, with some of the weapons, but hearing this story expansion for only $20 with more content in the story in this single player expansion than in the single player of 1 and 2 combined is really, really cool. And if you're someone like me who really enjoyed the Splatoon 1 or who enjoyed the single player of Splatoon, I feel like this DLC is going to be really, really good, especially because it's going to be 80. It's going to be like Portal. There's 80 puzzles you have to complete.
We're going to learn more about Marina and Pearl, and why Marina is there, and why they're gangsters and part of the mafia.
I pay attention way too much to the lore, and up until apparently Marina has just been slowly talking about Octolings, but in the lore it is illegal to talk about Salmonids and Octolings and have any connection with them whatsoever outside of a few people. The only people who knew about it was Cuttlefish, Agents 1, 2, 3, 4, and Marina, and the Splatoon government and the world government were the only ones that knew about it, which apparently exists. And so apparently the past few Splatfests, Marina has been talking more and more about the Octolings, and it's just something that we're finally learning more about Octolings, and with how Octolings are finally being allowed into Inkopolis and outside of Octo Valley and Octo Canyon. And yes, Marina is 2-pack. And I know someone pointed out. So Pearl we already knew was Biggie Smalls. We now know that Marina is 2-pack. Someone was bringing up that Captain Cuttlefish was Waka Flocka or whatever the heck his name
Snoop Dogg.
Is Snoop Dogg the one who wore the green jumpsuit?
I think so. I think that was Snoop Dogg.
Oh god, I lost that meme.
I lost it too, but I'm pretty sure that was him. It looked exactly like him.
Yeah, and then this is something else that was, thank you, Joe, that was said that Marie says that Captain Cuttlefish was on a mission with Agent 3. And we see Captain Cuttlefish and Agent 3 in the trailer being predominant things. And it was also said that this is a completely separate story thing, so it could be that this is happening either at the same time as the story or a little bit after, but we do know that this is where Agent 3 and Captain Cuttlefish are. And we also get to see Callie's precious smile again.
Yes, and also version 3 new maps.
Version 3.0 that adding a bunch of new clothes. And if anyone is subscribed to the official Nintendo Switch Facebook, they just uploaded pictures of a bunch of the new clothes, literally just right now.
Yeah. And it was confirmed that there are over 100 new clothes and accessories, 3 new maps all being added up along the release date to Octo expansion. I'm not sure if it's a limited time thing, but if you buy the DLC or if you pre-order the DLC, you do get a headset and hat for in-game that are
a headset and a shirt.
Headset and a shirt that are themed around the Octolings. The shirt is the standard yellow T-shirt, but instead it's the red Octoling hair color, and there's a sticker of an octopus on the front, and the headset is kind of like the standard stock headset, like the iconic headset, but it's red.
Yeah. And aside from that, I think there's only one other thing we really got to talk about for the direct, and that is, of course, exactly what I'm pretty sure most of you have been wondering, and that is Smash Bros. Because at the very end of the direct, they teased that there will be Smash Bros. Coming to the Switch, supposedly by the end of this year. I'm hoping that they will, because I've noticed that ever since the Switch came out, Nintendo's actually been pretty good on release dates. Like, I don't think ARMS wasn't delayed.
Yeah, not a single game has
Splatoon-
been delayed.
Splatoon 2 wasn't delayed. Mario Odyssey wasn't delayed. Like, there haven't really been any delays. Nintendo's been pretty good, which is very uncharacteristic for them, at least during the days of the Wii U.
Everything
so maybe
so far, everything
Yeah,
that's happened has been uncharacteristic.
yeah, just
It's
Nintendo's been
all gone super smoothly.
Nobody
Yeah,
thought
but-
this direct was going to be much of anything.
I literally did not watch the direct because, like,
And we got Smash Bros.
yeah, like I was like, oh, the direct's not gonna have anything. It's not gonna be any.
Yeah,
It's just
I wasn't expecting
update
it.
with
I
some
knew that they were gonna have Smash
Mario
Bros. 2.
Aces is gonna be covered. And I'm like, okay, so I decided to watch a Japanese movie, and then just like as I'm watching, I'm getting Discord notifications, and people are freaking out, and I'm like, well, this is gonna be really awkward to go back in the middle of this, so I'm just gonna like wait it out. And then like a half an hour after it ended, like I just joined. So what happened?
And literally someone just went
Smash.
anyways.
One thing.
Oh, wait,
Sorry, one thing to bring about Splatoon that I forgot to mention. X rank, which is beyond S plus in competitive for Splatoon, if you care about that.
Oh yeah. Good luck getting there with the teams that I'm on. But
With the teams that I'm on with Luther, good luck getting there.
yeah, but it's seriously though. But yeah, so we're finally getting to Smash. I know some of y'all are waiting for that. So the big thing that I want to address here, because a lot of people are confused: is this going to be a new Smash, or is this going to be an enhanced port of the last Smash, or is it just going to be a direct port of the last Smash? And the correct answer to that is we don't know yet, but there is a lot of evidence pointing to various different things. There's a couple things pointing that this could be a port. The main one being that on I think it's GameStop or Walmart, but like all the stores that officially have pre-orders up now, it has Wii U in the title, like in like
Wii U
the
3DS and the
Um,
title.
and like the
Some
SKU.
people are asking about the Bowser's Inside Story remake.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was wondering what BIS stood for. Yeah, they're remaking Bowser's Inside Story using
skipped
the
Partners in
Mario and
Time.
Luigi
Yeah,
Dream
they
Team
skipped Partners
engine,
in
Okay.
Time.
and
Yeah.
for
Which I
some
really
reason
don't
they're
think they
skipping
should have done.
Partners in Time.
Okay, aside from skipping Partners in Time, I think that Alpha Dream, the studio that develops the Mario and Luigi games, should not be doing these remakes. I think that they need to take like 4 or 5 years of a break and build a game for the Switch from the ground up with hand-drawn assets.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, instead of just reusing the same Dream Team engine and the same graphics and
Which
just,
is not that good looking.
yeah, it really doesn't work for pixel art.
And they need to stop simplifying designs of cool characters.
If it's gonna be a Switch game, they'd probably like combine all the games together.
Yeah.
I mean,
And that's
it's
going
like
to be the 3DS version at that.
I think the whole other thing though with like more 3DS games, because I feel like that should just be briefly addressed, is because apparently the 3DS is selling extremely well in Japan, like better than it ever has before. So
Yeah,
that's
for
why
the,
they're
for the
still
first time,
being-
it's actually for the first time in a while, it's actually outpacing the Vita.
yeah, and like but it's in Japan. Like in the West, the 3DS is one of those like, everyone's starting to get Switches and everything, and people here are obviously they're like, why more games for 3DS? Why? And again, it's in Japan. It's selling like hotcakes. People they're selling tons of 3DSs.
We have to think out of our own
Right,
bubble.
and so
Yeah.
is the Switch selling like hotcakes in
Which-
Japan as well. It can still be sold out in many areas, although
Yeah,
they
yeah.
have fixed a
But,
lot
and
of
I
stuff
bring
issues.
that up with the whole thing with the Dream Team using the same engine over and over again. I think it's because at least that little company is kind of holding on to that, you know, like we can still do something with the 3DS, whether it be to help fund for something much larger, which is something that I know a lot of companies do. They, what people will call cashing out on something, and they keep just so they can get a little bit more expenditure so they can put it to a larger project, which is, again, something completely possible.
Ideal.
Which, again, you know, it could be, you know, and it could be, you know, maybe they're going to do Partners in Time remake for the Switch. Who knows?
Yeah, we never know.
Hopefully
But anyway, going back to
Hopefully they don't
Smash.
do 3 remakes in a row. That would just be not very fun.
Yeah. What I really want them to start doing is I want them to start just making like huge bundle remakes. Like if they're gonna release like Ocarina of
Like
Time,
Mega
on
Man
this,
Legacy
I'd rather them
Collection.
remake like Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time, and then just port like the Wii U, Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess, put them all like in one bundle, and then sell that, or something of that sort. I'd much rather have that, and I think people would be much more forgiving if they did that. But anyways, going back to Smash. So I wanted to clear up why this is or isn't going to be a new Smash game, and I personally think that it is. I was kind of skeptical at first, but after looking into some of the evidence, I think that it is. And one of the big things is, as Josh pointed out, is that the thing at the bottom. So we know that the original Smash for Wii U and 3DS, that was made by Project Sora and Bandai Namco.
Correct.
But
yes.
this time at the bottom it says Nintendo and HAL Laboratory, so 2 different developers. It also
Right.
says 2018 instead of 2014 through 2018.
Okay.
Although that doesn't necessarily mean anything because it also did that for Mario Kart 8.
Deluxe.
Yeah,
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Correct. Yeah, they made a new trademark for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and they're making a new trademark for this Smash game as well.
Yeah.
However,
another thing is that this, if it was a port, it would have carried over its E10 rating, whereas this one is not rated yet.
Plus,
I think Mario Kart 8 Deluxe went through a brief not rated yet period because they still have to rate the new content, and you know it's not just a straight port.
That is true.
They do add new stuff and has to go back
and
to the...
as Cameron stated in the live chat, the logo is different. One big thing to note is that all the Smash Ball logos for Smash 4 and 3DS, they were a black circle with the lines made of fire, and now it's a fiery circle with the lines are black. Also, as you can clearly tell from the trailer, Link has been updated to resemble how he looks in Breath of the Wild. So I
would assume
obviously...
that would mean Mario looks like Odyssey Mario.
And
yeah,
the Inklings have been downgraded to how they look in the first Splatoon game.
Okay, well, I've actually been doing a ton of research into Smash for Switch myself. Even going as far as to look at the Germany press releases and
we'll report your findings.
Translated. So basically, in short, there's no real evidence pointing either way towards a new game or a port. However, I do completely believe that they will market this game as a new game.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So yeah, there's basically a bunch of confusion on both sides because of the trademark and the new logo. So with the trademark, it mentions the trademark specifically for the original game, which is Smash 64 and Melee. So we can assume that none of the third-party characters or like Sega or Pac-Man or Mega Man were in the Smash teaser. That's
okay.
Otherwise, they would have
to be fair, I think that those the characters that are there, I don't think that's necessarily saying anyone won't be there. I honestly think those characters were just chosen because those are like the recognizable Smash faces. It was just there to show you, oh, this is Smash.
Right, yeah, those are all the main Smash cast that you know will be in every game going forward.
Yeah. Also, a couple other things to point out is this is something that the YouTube user HMK pointed out. I don't know if y'all know who that is. He's big for Zelda, but he does other stuff as well. He pointed out that in all the teasers they showed like the characters getting letters and stuff from like with the Smash logo, but this time the Inklings didn't get a letter. They just got teleported into like,
they witnessed an execution of a man burning.
Armageddon.
Also, this is something that was covered in a recent Game Explain video. If you listen very carefully in
Have
the
you follow
trailer,
them?
you
Yeah,
can
there's a new
hear
theme.
some new music that appears to be a new theme, and it doesn't sound at all like the theme that was used in Smash 4.
Joe was trying to say
Right.
something. Y'all were
No.
stepping from. It's also possible that characters returning, for example, like Mega Man, will probably come back because the entirety of Mega Man is going to be available on Switch with Mega
Yeah.
Man 11.
Also, I think that
Bayonetta has a
Bayonetta
high
is
chance.
Bayonetta is
Bayonetta.
likely to come back as well. Not only
And-
because she won the ballot, but because she's
She's
now pretty much a
essentially a Switch
Nintendo-owned
IP.
property.
And
Yeah, Nintendo IP.
Well,
And-
Sega still has the IPs, but we can discuss who's returning later. I think it's important to establish what kind of a game this is first.
I'd also like
Um,
to throw out though that
Mhm.
there's a more likelihood than ever of Crash Bandicoot joining the game.
That
is
is a
true.
possibility.
Yeah.
I saw some people saying that, and that is possible. I swear to God, I thought you were going to say something regarding to night mode. That's how much you trigger me.
I would like to say that Scruffy is in the chat, the live chat.
Scruffy, how you
Scruffy,
doing?
what
How
are
you
you
doing,
doing here?
How you doing, Scruffy? He's taking a break from his work. Leave him alone.
Graphic,
Yeah.
I thought you were
No,
supposed to
he
be
can't
working.
take breaks.
Saying in the live chat for those of you who can't see it is that there is because he's for those of you who don't know he's the diehard audio guy. If you don't know who Scruffy is, shame
I'm
on
pretty
you.
sure
Go learn about
everybody here
Scruffy.
knows who Scruffy is.
They should know more of who Scruffy is than who we are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But he's saying that it's a new theme that plays
yeah.
from him
Yeah.
listening. So it is a new song for
Yeah,
a Smash
so-
theme. So
It really does look like
But-
we obviously we can't say for sure, but it really does kind of look like this is either it is a new game or it's different enough from the last
Remastered
one that
port.
that they're treating it as a new game.
Or it could
Right,
be a
they're
Smash-
treating Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as a new game. Well, yes and no, but it's selling like a new game, and
Yeah.
they changed the title. It's not just Bayonetta 2, but now on the Switch, it's
what
Mario Kart
I
8
actually had an
Deluxe.
idea that with announcing this DLC and the Inklings, being shown that they're in Smash, I had an idea that anytime that they were to release a new game, like they were to show off a trailer for a new game, it would end with the character of that game witnessing, the same kind of fiery brimstone that the Inklings did, showing that they were in Smash. Like for example, they were to release, let's say if they were to release, Bayonetta 3 trailer. And at the very end or something, there's Bayonetta, and she's walking away. There's like angels, like shriveling up or whatever behind her. And then there's like a bright heat, and she turns around. There's just the Smash logo, and there's a bunch of people just standing in front of the Smash logo, like silhouettes of past characters looking at Bayonetta. And she just, like looks and just slowly approaches. Or if,
Dawn should be right behind her.
yeah, and what's it like with Mario Aces or something? Maybe not Mario Aces, but another Mario game, like something. It'll show. Or let's just say Captain Toad. They released a Captain Toad trailer, and at the very end, Captain Toad just looks and he discovers the fiery Smash brimstone.
Yeah, that's really all they have to
each
show.
trailer. Like that is like instead of releasing information on Smash, they reveal who's in Smash through their game trailers.
Right,
Coming-
right,
yeah.
yeah.
Something
They're
like that.
definitely going to reveal these newcomers in a different way than Smash 4, because with Smash 4 you always got the cross at the start, and then it opened up to the
Yeah.
character in their
Yeah.
world getting their invite, or basically whichever scenario they're in, and the newcomer steps in. But yeah, they're
So-
definitely inviting
Teasing.
newcomers in a much more menacing way.
Yeah.
Also, a big thing that I want to point out is so when I first heard there was a new Smash game in development, I was really concerned for Sakurai's health, because for those who don't know Sakurai, the developer of Smash, well, I shouldn't say he loves to, but he's known for borderline working himself to death, and I don't
Yeah,
even
he
mean it
has
in a joking sense.
tendinitis in his right arm.
Yeah, like he's
which-
he's like super young, and he has like all these problems.
He's
like,
actually 41, but like
Is he? I thought he was like 30 something.
no, it's crazy. If you take if you take a look at all of his pictures, like from 19 to 41,
He's like
it
Will
looks like
Smith.
he
He looks
progressively
exactly the
gets
same.
younger and younger. And
Yeah,
it's
it's so weird. But yeah, like I remember reading in an interview during the development of Smash 3DS and Wii U, he said that there was like a couple months where nonstop he would work for 40 hours straight, and then he'd sleep in his office for 4 hours, and then go back to working for 40 hours straight, and just repeat that. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
he-
that is not good for anyone's health. And like honestly, because of that, I kept telling people like I'm okay if all we get for the Switch is a port of Smash 4. Like I don't want this guy to die. But thankfully, about a month before this direct happened and before we knew anything about this Smash, he did say in an interview that he's looking to take more of a consultant role more than like a actual like on hands development.
right.
And that's a big relief for me, just morally.
Well,
And also, that's also interesting to note because this will be the first time in Smash history where he isn't
it's
as involved as he has been in the past.
it's already been confirmed after the Smash reveal that is the case, and that he is.
Yeah, he has confirmed that he's been silently working on Smash day after day, quote unquote.
Yeah,
But he
although
said
I-
that he is not the head honcho on it. He's just a overlooker.
yeah, like overseeing.
Over
I
the
have
project.
not seen that direct quote yet.
I
Might
will try to
give
find
a
it.
translation.
It's from his Twitter that was like translated.
If this is in the past 24 hours, then sure. But I still think I have a lot to talk about the development of this game because I think I have a good idea of what this will look like in the end.
Go for
Yeah.
it.
So,
Yeah, go for
okay,
it.
so
Well,
well,
I don't know if we should do it here.
No,
But-
I mean, as long as you're not gonna take like 20 minutes. I mean, I'm pretty sure.
it's gonna take like 5 to 10 minutes because
Okay.
there's a lot to it. Okay, so I follow a lot of well, I just keep my eye on rumors a lot. But back in 2016, when we didn't even know what the Switch was,
Mm-hmm.
rumors were the only thing to go off of because Nintendo was completely silent.
Yeah, complete.
And
radio
so,
silence.
yeah, it was hard time. But so back then, like before we even really got the official reveal of what the NX was, there were Smash rumors and that it'd be a launch title
Mhm.
for the Switch.
I remember that.
And even after the Switch was revealed, the Smash rumors persisted, and they continued to persist, just like the Mother 3 rumors. The common theory for what happened to Mother 3 is that it was translated, but Nintendo's holding on to it since the Wii U is dead. They're holding on
Yeah.
to it until the Switch Virtual Console releases. Anyways, so I do think that there is some form of truth to these rumors that Smash has been in development for the Switch since DLC ended. And that they were originally planning on Smash having being out on year one. So the 2 points of reference I'm using for this theory are Switch Online and Pokemon Stars, if you know what that is.
I know all about that.
Right. So as we know, back in the January presentation, it was originally announced that Switch Online would come fall 2017. They did not announce Smash, but I think they were saving Smash in case the Switch did not catch on yet, alongside just like Pokemon Stars. They were working on a third version of Sun and Moon for the Switch, but after seeing that the Switch was so successful, they turned Pokemon Stars into Ultra Sun and Moon instead, and now they can make a clean break with Generation 8 for the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, I do think that the story about Pokemon Stars is fairly credible because it comes from Eurogamer, who originally leaked the Switch concept.
Yeah.
So I think that's completely.
They're also the ones that first brought up Crash Bandicoot and a lot of third-party games that eventually did come to the Switch as well.
Right. Yeah. Like the Switch has been pretty leak heavy, although thankfully things like Smash and Prime 4 and Bayonetta 3 have been total surprises.
Yeah, I am surprised in all three of those cases. I was super surprised that like nothing about those came out, especially Bayonetta 3. Knowing how long it takes for Platinum Games to work on their games, I'm surprised that we hadn't heard anything about it before that.
And this is a tactic that a few developers tackle, is that they allow certain leaks.
Yeah.
Like they will say, this is something about this project you can talk about it in this kind of fashion, post it, 4chan, Reddit, Tumblr, just different places where you can get, leaks and
Yeah.
rumors and stuff.
Yeah, because it does generate some hype and excitement,
Yeah,
right?
interest.
However, another way to combat leaks is just to show these teasers so early in development, because people don't think that Bayonetta is going to be a 2018 game. People don't think Prime 4 is going to be a 2018 game. Pokemon probably won't be a 2018 game either. But we still have Fire Emblem marked for 2018 as well. So I assume Nintendo's sticking to that since, again, they haven't delayed anything.
Yeah.
So, anyways, back to my other points about Smash for development. Originally being year one, like Pokemon Stars, was Switch Online. Of course, you want to launch Switch Online with a huge game that will make everyone want to buy online. Even though we had Splatoon and ARMS shortly before that, I think Smash would have been one of their heavy hitters, since Odyssey and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 do not have major online components.
Mm-hmm.
Now, somewhere in July, I think, after the release of Splatoon 2, might have been June, they announced that online was pushed back to 2018. Most people assumed it would be early 2018, but this is a good amount of time to. The Switch had been out for 3 months. We had Breath of the Wild, ARMS, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, all selling super well. So it's safe to say that they pushed back both online and Smash for a little bit more polish and development time. And then finally, with when 2017 ended and Odyssey came out and Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the Switch hit 10 or 11 million. It outsold the Wii U. I believe that they gave even more time to Smash for Switch. And then finally, we got the announcement in February that Switch Online was delayed to fall 2018, which is when I think Smash for Switch will launch.
Yeah, like you were saying earlier, I think that Smash for the Switch, I think they're planning on making that their big holiday game this year.
Right.
So whenever it's probably gonna launch alongside or shortly after the online goes up.
Right. Yeah, alongside that as their holiday title, we still do have Yoshi, which is getting pushed back further and further, it seems.
Yeah, we
And
don't even
Fire
have an
Emblem.
official name for that yet.
Right. Fire Emblem is still a 2018 game that will also be a holiday. But I honestly don't think that they need a whole lot more besides Smash for the holidays. Like the Switch sold on basically Breath of the Wild, Odyssey, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and Xenoblade 2 alone, as well as Splatoon 2. But sorry, Cosmic Cam, I don't think Pikmin 4 is going to happen in 2018. As much as I want it to happen.
Yeah, hang on a sec. I just want to put some quick words on Pikmin 4. The Pikmin 4 is such a weird enigma because of a kind of like how you delved into Smash, I've delved into Pikmin 4, and one of the weirdest things that I've noticed that not a lot of people ever bring up is that the original interview where Pikmin 4 was first mentioned by Miyamoto, that was mentioned shortly after E3 2016, I want to say. I think it was 2016.
Yeah, it's been 2 years.
Yeah, but the thing about it is that that interview wasn't like like Nintendo put an embargo so that nobody could hear about that interview, and then I think 2 months later when they announced the delay for Star Fox Zero, then they took the embargo off, and I think the entire point of that was they were just trying to release some information on something just so that like it would kind of soften the blow of Star Fox Zero, which at that time everyone was excited for. I don't think they were
Right.
expecting the can of worms to open up and everyone like freaking out about Pikmin 4. And I think the reason they embargoed it is probably because Miyamoto probably wasn't supposed to talk about it, and him saying that the game close to completion probably wasn't really true. It was probably just like him like saying something like in his excitement of the moment and not realizing what he said, which is why in during E3 2017 when someone asked him about Pikmin 4, he said it's progressing, but I can't really say more because PR told me not to. Like I think Nintendo's PR is kind of on his case because he really wasn't supposed to mention Pikmin 4, because in reality Pikmin 4 probably is not really anywhere near being done.
You mentioning that
Right.
makes me think of the whole, you know how like, hey, Pikmin wasn't that good. I feel like it was possible then they kind of realized the can of worms that were opened by that saying that, and it's like, well, he said it's opened up soon, and you know we can't say, oh, that's not true because that's bad for us. Arzest, you're not doing anything right now. Can you make or not Arzest? Yeah, Arzest. Can you make a Pikmin game in like 10 months, 8 months? Spin off, you know, do your thing.
Yeah.
Just make it Pikmin so there's something there that exists.
Yeah. Also, there's this one guy that's literally been asking since the beginning of we started this. He wants to talk about the Pikmin anime. We already talked about that in the last Pikcast. Basically, at a shareholders meeting in 2017, Nintendo said that they want to branch out more, and one of the things they want to do is have like a little like anime shorts of like their series. And I suggested in the last Pitcast that maybe they could have like little like how some like Pixar have pre-movie shorts, if with like the Illuminations Mario movie, maybe before that they could have like a little Pikmin thing. And that's pretty much where the whole Pikmin anime thing came from. It's not confirmed that they will have a Pikmin anime, but they did say they want to do something anime-ish with their series. I don't know
Yeah,
if
it
Pikmin's
was
a fit for that, but it would be cool if they did.
right. It was just their foray into other mediums like amusement parks or movies and stuff like that. And yeah, I think the Mario movie will be the first that we see from that.
Yeah.
I don't
I'd like
think
to see them do even more.
right, as do I. But like they've shown that mobile games,
People eat them up.
unlike the Switch games, mobile games get delayed forever, and they're
Yeah.
really slow about that. So I think they're just really pushing the Switch for now. And there's so many points that have come up that I also want to address as you were talking. But like, yeah. So there's the theme park. There's Mario movie. They're branching out into other mediums. It's possible we could see some other smaller projects along side this, but they won't be to the extent of like the Mario movie.
Yeah. Going back to Pikmin 4, I don't want people to be like discouraged and think that Pikmin 4 is going to take just as long as Pikmin 3 to make. But what I am going to say is I definitely don't think it's something that Nintendo's prioritizing right now. But
Right.
it could be that there's something there, something that they could show us. And maybe we'll get a teaser at E3 and it'll be out like around this time next year. We don't know. But
Like, Grumpy
yeah,
actually was in the chat. He was saying it's just like I would be fine if at E3 at the end they revealed Pikmin 4 the same way they revealed Metroid Prime 4, where it's just the logo with the 4.
Yeah.
And in my head, this is kind of slightly derailing, but in my head, I'm imagining it's just like, now that we have talked about Metroid Prime 4, we would like to discuss another 4 that everyone's been waiting for, and we're all here like excited for Pikmin. Crash Bandicoot 4 is coming to the Switch now. It's just like,
stop.
Do you guys remember I made that meme?
Super
where it was
Mario
like,
Brothers
it
4
was
is
exactly
coming out.
it was exactly the Metroid Prime 4 logo, but it just replaced Metroid with Pikmin. But
Yes, I
it
remember
left
that.
like the font and everything for the 4.
Yeah, and then I've seen memes of just like all the Metroid fans getting immensely upset about the 4 being for Pikmin and not actually Metroid Prime.
Yeah.
Hilarious. But yeah, so
yeah. Aside from that, I don't know what I don't know what they'd have to show at E3. I just really hope they don't waste E3 talking about a lot of games that we've already seen that just haven't come out yet.
well, actually, no. Like, I want to go into E3 and then back into Smash a little because and tie in reasons why I don't think we will see Pikmin 4 at E3. At most, a teaser like Prime 4 and Bayonetta 3 and Smash right now. Okay, so we already have a lot of highly anticipated games coming up for the Switch that Nintendo needs to talk about at E3.
Yeah.
So just going down the list again, we have Yoshi, Fire Emblem, Smash Brothers, Prime 4, Bayonetta 3.
Yeah. Here's
Yeah.
three things
And
that
Pokemon. Yeah.
Here's three things that I don't want to say no for a fact, but I fully believe will be at E3. I think they're going to have a new trailer for Bayonetta 3. They're going to have a new trailer for Metroid Prime 4, and they're probably going to spend a major. If they really are serious about getting Smash out by the end of this year, which I do believe they are, we're probably going to get a kind of like how there was a big section of this latest direct that focused on Mario Aces. I
Yeah,
think
they'll
they're going to
focus
do
a lot
that
on
with
Smash.
Smash. And
Yeah.
most of the booths on the show floor probably also going to be Smash.
Yeah, they're going to focus a lot on
Yeah.
these hardcore games.
If there is anything about Pikmin, I don't expect them to spend more than like 3 minutes talking about it,
Right. Yeah.
if at all.
I don't expect that many big surprises for this E3. I think we'll just get more info, like a real title for some of these games.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll still announce a new major game, of course, perhaps a 2D Zelda, or let's see, what else have we been missing? Donkey Kong. Oh, Rare's IP. Rare's been working on a project for like 4 years now.
Wait,
Yeah.
Rare.
Not
Yeah, Rare's been working on an IP for like a long time. I heard there's rumors that it's like some kind of like horror game IP for the Switch. There was
I don't think
some.
it's horror, but like regardless to say, I believe it's ambitious and that it's finally time to reveal it, and that will be the big surprise of E3. Really.
And okay, I would like to say we're approaching 2 hours, so I would like not to cut you guys off or anything. I mean, we could definitely do this for a future Pikcast because we'll hopefully do more than one a year this time. And just so that we can wrap up, see if there's anyone in the chat who has any questions or anything like that, just so we can tie things down. And
Yeah. Here. While they are bringing up questions, let me just quickly skim over the very last thing we had. So this year in July, July 14th through the 22nd, we're going to have another meetup where Pikipedia members are going to fly down to meet here in Texas, and we're going to have another meetup. We're going to have another Pikmin 3 bingo battle tournament, and this time we're going to see about having a webcam, and we're going to have face cams for
we said
everybody.
that 2 years ago. Hopefully, it'll finally happen.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
there's
I'm looking
that.
forward to it.
Yeah, we're gonna hopefully do another live Pikcast. We're gonna see. I don't think it's been confirmed everyone who's coming, so I don't want to say who's gonna be going there or not. I'm gonna try to be there.
So far, the only 3 confirmed people are Ryan from last year, Tommy, and Kevin.
Hopefully, Luther will be there.
Oh yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm sorry, but maybe I'll see if it'll work.
But yeah, we're gonna hopefully have a fancier setup this time.
Much fancier. I've worked long and hard to make my room fancy.
Yes. What was it? Yeah, we're gonna try to do live Pikcast, all that kind of stuff, and try to make this, obviously a bigger deal, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I guess if anyone in the chat has questions for us, whether it be about whether it be about, I don't know, us, Pikmin, etc. in the chat, ask them, and we'll take the last, 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes just to answer questions. And
Before we do take questions, though, I would just, it's not related to anything that we've talked about so far, but I just want to say a shout outs to Andre, or SBO. He's one of us, and he's been working on his Pikmin fan game engine, which has gone under a new name of Pikifen, I believe. So you could go and check that out. We'll probably have some sort of a link to that soon. Yeah.
All right. So
Very cool.
questions. I guess while we're doing this, we can talk about for the Switch, because we were saying we're not gonna do a Switch review. We kind of did that with this as is. But what are you guys' favorite Switch games that have come out?
Well, before we get onto that, I just want to point out that I still have more to talk about E3 and Smash, but perhaps that's saved for a second Pikcast where we do E3 predictions. So
Yeah,
Ooh, that sounds
good.
like a good idea.
yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be good.
so, yeah, look forward to that, I guess.
Yeah.
But I guess I can start with favorite Switch games because I honestly have not been playing my Switch a lot. I've been super busy with a lot of stuff in real life and all that. But I will say, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, best story I've had in a video game I think ever in my life.
Wow.
Have you played Mother 3?
100. I did not like Mother. I'm gonna be honest. I did not like Mother.
Oh, well,
I did not enjoy the gameplay of it or anything. But no, the Xenoblade Chronicles 2, because this is gonna sound really stupid. There's an MMO I used to play. Some of you in the chat might have heard of it. RuneScape had, in my opinion, the best story in a game ever. Obviously, because it's an MMO, it can develop the story in one game over. I think it's I think it's 20 years old now. And but no, when I was playing through Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I did not know what to expect. I'm gonna be completely honest. I saw anime girl chests and was like, I'm pouring $65 right now downloading the game. I did not see any gameplay. I had no idea what I was getting into.
Oh my
I spent
God.
$60 for an anime girls, and I thought it was going to be a super cheesy storyline, and I was like, okay, it's going to be the end of the game right at this point, and all right, there's now 3 more groups of people that I have to deal with. This is not the end of the game. And then 40 hours later, okay, it's going to have to start tying up, and we're going to keep going, and then I hit the 100-hour mark, and I'm like crying because there's like civil wars breaking out. There's like the possibility of genocide happening, and I'm like, when is this ride going to end? I want to get off of Mr. Bones' wild ride. And when I finally got to the end, I kind of just like laid there in my chair, and I was like, it is complete. The pact has been sealed. So I would say out of all the games on Switch, I liked ARMS, I liked Breath of the Wild, I liked Mario Rabbids was really fun. Splatoon 2, I'm starting to get back into again. Bayonetta, I haven't played Bayonetta 2, but I've beaten Bayonetta 1. But I think out of all the games I've played on the Switch, I think Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is definitely my best and has, I would say, the best story in a game that I have played in my entire life.
I'm
yeah, I've
gonna
heard a
give
lot
an
of
answer.
great things about it. I'm definitely planning on picking it up once it goes on sale because I have not played any other Xenoblade games.
Yeah, same. Like
So-
just hearing you talk about it, like I'm kind of interested in it, but I also do want to wait till it goes on sale.
I do expect Pyra and Mithra being in Smash.
No, Rex. Rex would be in Smash. Pyra and Mithra would be his attacks because of
Okay.
blades and how they work, but it
Yeah.
would be like how Schultz is in Smash, Rex would be in Smash.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back
Well,
to
hang
everyone's
on.
favorite Switch games. Who's up next?
I mean,
Here, let me just give my answer so I can finish this. But to be honest, I don't really have a favorite game. Just the Switch has already become probably my favorite console of all time, beating out the GameCube, just because they did something. They took the power, even more power than the last system they had, and they put it into the smallest form factor I've ever seen of something that is considered a home console and made it into a handheld that I can take with me anywhere. I have taken the Switch with me everywhere, every day to work, and I play it every day at work. I'm pretty sure that my production has gone down terribly because I spend 20 minutes in the bathroom playing at work every day.
Oh no.
But
Oh.
but just like the very fact that I can play a lot of these games on the go makes them all the better. Like I'm playing through Bayonetta 1 and 2 again, and I loved both of those games on Wii U. I played through a Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2, and I love both of those games. I played Volgar the Viking, and I loved it even more that I could play it on the go. I played Shantae. I already had Shantae Half Genie here on PC. I got it again just so I could take it anywhere. The only game, like, all those games, including like the big ones like Breath of the Wild, ARMS, Splatoon 2, Mario Rabbids, like all the obvious answers, all obviously I love those. Yes, Bayonetta 1 was on Wii U. It came with Bayonetta 2. Anyways, um the only games that I'd say I honestly don't enjoy, like I stopped playing them, is Snake Pass. I didn't really think it was that interesting. Like
Really?
it is
I finished
interesting.
that game.
It is interesting, but the frame rate and the resolution kind of hurts my eyes. I don't know what it is about it. There's something
DLC is
weird about
also
it.
coming out for that game, just so we know.
Yeah, and also Fast RMX. I'm very confused on what I'm doing. And yeah, those two games are like the only two. Even the 1-2 Switch, I play more than those two games.
Really?
But yeah, but aside from that, just the Switch itself is like the greatest thing ever.
So
Yeah, I agree. The Switch has really changed how I play games, and just uh, being able to do anything with it really is means a lot to me.
Yeah,
I'm looking
and
forward to Virtual
some
Console,
yeah,
GameCube Virtual Console, please.
yeah.
In the future.
Something else that a lot of, that I always tell a lot of people is the fact that, like, as much as I like Nintendo's innovation, I honestly think that they need to just stop with the Switch and just focus on making the Switch more, make future consoles just the Switch again, but more powerful. Like, I don't want them to go back to a home console format.
yeah,
I
but what's
want to
gonna
be able to
happen
take.
when
Yeah,
Sony and
they're gonna.
Microsoft copy their idea?
That would be the greatest thing ever. I want all three console manufacturers to have something that's like the Switch. Imagine if all three console manufacturers make. Imagine an entire console generation that can fit in your pocket. I can fit 3 Switches in my pocket. I've done it before because Chloe always asks me to hold hers, and my cousin will ask me to hold his. And I'll take all the Joy Cons off, put them in my other pocket, and then I put the 3 Switches stacked like little books in my other pocket. That right there is an entire console generation that fits in my pocket. And I bought like 250 gigabyte micro SD cards. I haven't bought a single game cart, all right there in this one little device. And not to mention the fact that that's good for other manufacturers. That's good for PC gamers too, because for the longest time, the reason that high performance gaming laptops are so expensive is because mobile components are expensive because they're not produced very often. But now with the Switch demanding for things like this to be in production more, things like microprocessors and stuff like that, the stuff that NVIDIA is learning with their Tegra processor, all that stuff can start to be revamped and made even better, and it'll become cheaper, all because of the Switch.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Nathan? What's your favorite game? Oh wait, hold on. Let me just say, Joe is having really funky net. He's saying Breath of the Wild is phenomenal, but Splatoon 2 is tied with Breath of the Wild for him being his favorite game on the Switch.
So
Yes, Breath of the Wild is great.
if I were to pick a favorite game, like if I had to boil it down, I'd probably pick Splatoon 2. But I must say a close second, and I don't even want to say that, but a really good game on the Switch, a game that I am really enjoying, that not, comparatively to Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild and the main games, not a lot of people know about this game, is Celeste.
I knew that this was coming.
I've heard about it, but I haven't.
I
haven't
really
played it.
like Celeste. It is such a good story. The gameplay is solid. There's no bugs or graphical glitches. You would never die and feel like, oh, why did that happen? You always know exactly what you did wrong. It's an amazing game, and the visuals are fantastic. The music is amazing. Probably one of my favorite games on the Switch so far. Probably going to be in my top games of 2018. Very good game. It's an indie developed game. It's $20 on the eShop. Highly recommend it.
All right.
Yeah.
Cake, what's your favorite game on the Switch?
Okay, so honestly, as everyone's been saying, there's just so many great games, and there's just too much to play, and picking a favorite is pretty hard, but I'd probably have to say Odyssey because it's everything I ever wanted from a Mario game, and I actually ended up crying at the ending. It was just
Me too,
so
man.
good to see.
I cried
But
once.
yeah.
I cried once during Odyssey as well, but I cried 3 times during Celeste. So
All right, are we gonna have a crying
To
competition
this
now?
day, the only
I'm
I think
sorry.
the only time a Switch game made me cry was the ending of Bayonetta 2.
hadn't you played it before?
Right, yeah. So I can't even pick a favorite game so far because I'm still working my way through Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2, and I'm loving them.
They're both very great.
So yeah, I've only just barely been the normal mode for Bayonetta, and I still have to go through hard mode and all the extra content.
And all right, and then Jordan.
My favorite. Well, I really don't. I can't say that I have any one favorite. I got a lot of playtime out of Breath of the Wild when that first came out. I spent days on that one. I would
Same.
say that my favorite would probably between Breath of the Wild and Mario and Rabbids, which I'm excited to see what the DLC is going to be with Donkey Kong.
Yeah, same.
I have
And-
yet to pick
Do we
up
know when that comes out, by the way?
Nope.
And I do want to say, and I guess I can't speak for him, but Dave actually left a little bit ago. But I do know that like Dave can agree with me on Xenoblade, and if we're talking about crying in games, I cried in Xenoblade probably like 3 or 4 times because I didn't know when the ride was going to end, and something happens, and I'm just sitting there just like when I finished the game, I think one of the first things I said to everyone here was, I think I have been officially defeated emotionally.
Yeah.
Because Xenoblade just, but
Yeah.
we're having a crying competition. I cried probably 4 times to Xenoblade.
Yeah. I've heard several things about Xenoblade. Makes me definitely want to play it.
I mean, there were definitely a few bugs that I ran into. Like, I accidentally had soft locked myself in a sense. I had to lose an hour's worth of content from the last time I saved. Because of something that on the game, I would say on the game zone, which was probably a really bad short sight. And as much as I want to get the DLC for it, just because I'm so busy in real life, I'm not getting it. So I mean, I would love to get the DLC because there's more story, there's more blades to collect. Which, Jesus, I don't know why there needs to be more blades to collect. I have like half of the blades, and that was a nightmare to get. But again, I feel like Dave would probably agree on Xenoblade because he was a friend of because he was a fan of Xenoblade 1, and yeah, I don't want to say too much there because the slightest slip of the tongue can ruin the game. But
He just comes in here. What are you talking about, Josh? I hated that game.
but yeah, that I know is one of the titles Dave would praise.
Yeah.
I feel, but I guess I was trying to see if there are any questions being asked.
We only got pretty much.
What are our thoughts on Splatfest?
Yeah, that was the whole
I voted for Team Egg.
I
I
also
voted
voted
for
for
And
Team
I
Egg.
defeated anyone that debated me.
All right, here's
I'm always on Pearl's team because Pearl was Team Cake.
that's
Understandable.
almost understandable.
Have a nice day.
So here's my philosophy. Eggs.
life is real.
Eggs
Is
make
life not real?
eggs make really dank memes. I mean, think of How to Basic and Searing Egg, and there's plenty. I'm sure Josh has a few.
I'm thinking of Humpty Dumpty from Shrek. I can think of that right now.
Whereas chickens,
Oh, Omar, feed me 10 egg. That's another one.
you think of chicken, you think, oh, the chicken crossed the road. That's a normie meme, So it's not. I didn't pick Team Egg because it's dank, and I did not pick Team Normie or Team Chicken because it's normie. But I picked it because of the philosophical reason, because the dank comes before the normie. At first it's dank, and then it becomes normie. So the egg comes first. That's why.
As said in the book of Pepe,
Yes.
Verse 420.
That's why I picked a team egg. And also
But,
because it's on Marina's team, so...
I
I'm
picked
glad
it
that
because
that's what
like
this boiled down to.
I picked it because chickens came from eggs, and there were animals that were laying eggs before chickens ever existed. And,
But,
and
okay.
I actually argued this morning that even if
Can,
you're a
can I
religious
share this story
person,
because I think it's funny
Yeah,
from my
okay,
perspective.
even-
So like
Alright, go ahead.
okay, so like we were just talking about like the night that Splatfest started, because because it was like 20 minutes before Splatfest was gonna start, and Salmon Run was open, and so I was like, oh hey Luther and Chloe, Luther's sister, like hey you guys want to do some Salmon Run, and they're like oh yeah sure give us a few minutes. So I'm sitting there waiting. I have a lobby up waiting for them, and they start arguing over which came first, the chicken and the egg. And they start they start arguing a lot more, and they start yelling at each other. And I'm sitting there screaming at each other. Chloe calls in Luther's dad in there to discuss this further. And I'm sitting there just as there's yelling over which came first, the chicken and the egg. And I'm sitting here there just like, are we gonna be doing Salmon Run?
he was just waiting, and we were
like
arguing about it.
guys. Like we Splatfest is. I want to do some Salmon Run. We doing? And
I want to jump in, and I with what Luther was about to say too. So even for like whether or not you are religious or not, the thing is, chicken were man-made. Like
That is
chicken
also
came
true.
from breeding jungle fowl together,
Yes,
and the following creature was named a chicken.
yes.
Right,
Also,
like cats and dogs.
Also, I just want to include this piece because I use this piece with my dad. Even if you are a super hardcore religious person to the point where you literally believe that the Bible is literal and that God had legitimately created the world in 7 days, it clearly says that He created fish before birds. Chicken are birds. Fish lay eggs. Eggs existed before chickens did, regardless of whether or not you're a religious person. The end. Class dismissed.
Well, there is a flaw.
No, there's not, because fish lay eggs.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. Fish can't get pregnant and lay eggs in one day. So if you're you're a literal day believer,
Well, neither can chickens. How do you know the chickens didn't?
Jesus.
that you just disproved the point.
No, I didn't.
But okay.
Alrighty then. So
Yeah, let's move on.
Let's not get into that.
But
That's
chicken
some
and
good
eggs. Chicken and eggs. GG chicken.
I'm gonna say I voted Team Chicken for multiple reasons. One, white ink. Two, I knew that Team Egg was not going to win.
Okay, there's something that Marina is almost always going to lose.
Yeah,
And that
Marina's
is
always going to lose because
and the
too many
reason
people
why-
vote for her.
Yeah, because there's so many people who vote for Team Marina. It's because she is Marina.
Well, she won
And
last
because
Splatfest.
there, she's
Before this.
she's won very few in comparison, but she gets a ton of votes. But because of that, there's a large portion of players who aren't good at Splatoon on their team. And so it
isn't
kinda just-
that. It's also the fact
That's
that
one of the big
because there are so many Marina players, they often end up getting paired against Marina versus Marina, which don't count. And
Mhm.
so the Pearl team only has to win a few games, and their ratio looks like they won a lot.
Oh, if it doesn't count, well, it's still
Yeah,
even. Because
Okay, it technically counts because it counts as a win-loss, and then it cancels itself out.
alrighty, well I think that's enough about the Splatfest.
Yeah, enough
Yeah,
Is there
Splatfest.
anything else?
Anyone else have any last minute questions before we close anything down?
Yep.
I have to
Last
show the
minute
meme
question?
reel. I promised a meme
Oh.
reel
Yeah, meme
of
reel.
the memes that
Titles
Next
been sending
Splatfest
me.
is water wet.
There's only
Alright.
three.
Ending of Pikmin 1.
There's only three.
Let's-
Here we go.
Let's rate
Yeah.
these memes.
All right, here's number one. I'm gonna, yeah. You guys might be a little delayed.
Yeah.
I'll post the link to the things in the
Look,
chat.
was it smashed?
Nice.
That's not bad.
All right, that's number one. Here's number
9
two.
out of 10.
I'm gonna post it in chat so you guys can see it instantly. It's,
Hey,
Oh my God.
Pikmin 4 hurts me. I like how they just included the hurts me at the bottom. That's my favorite part. Hurts me.
Wait, what about the ones that I sent you?
Oh, yeah, I'll have to look.
The memes weren't good enough.
Octo expansion and Knuckles.
Well, no,
battle
I didn't make
Minions.
them. I was just sending them for people in the chat.
I like how he reversed the 4 so it's accurate to
I know.
physics.
Shout out to whoever made that one. He made his meme logical.
Oh, one of these memes that Jordan sent me is just a repeat.
A repost.
Oh,
Hang on a
someone
second.
made
Where's
this.
the one that Dave made?
I'm not sure I understand this.
I don't understand it either.
Not Pikcast.
Not
which
Pikcast
is
is
what I
what I
love.
love.
What I love.
I mean, you might as well
it's
show
saying,
the other
it's
one
saying,
too.
It's saying Scruffy is making a list of things he loves, and Pikcast is not one of them.
I guess that's all there is to
You-
that. I
you
think that's,
might
I
as
think
well
that
show
Scruffy
the
likes
other
Pikcast,
one.
though.
You might as well show the other one.
Oh yeah. Show the one that Joe just put in Discord voice chat.
Huh?
That's the
Okay.
one that Dave made. He made that one like literally, like a few hours. No, not even like literally a few minutes after the Smash
Yeah.
announcement.
That one's pretty good.
That is a really good one. I honestly wasn't expecting it to take off as such a huge meme.
And then shout out to the memes that were made live during
Yeah.
this.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Untitled. And
Did he
make
anybody
all of
else
them?
who submitted memes. He made all of them except the not Scruffy one.
Well, okay,
the
Nathan,
not
you might as
Pikcast.
well show the other one because that person did try.
Oh,
Okay,
well, somebody.
okay,
well,
hang
we
on.
can just say somebody else also did the.
Somebody
Pick
just
Pikmin.
asked
Well, just
another
show-
question.
Luther,
Somebody
just
asked another
not
question.
Luther. Nathan,
Well,
just show it.
Somebody asked
Okay.
another question. What's your favorite Pikmin? Mine's Rock.
Purple, either purple or winged.
I have a
Blue.
tie between blue and white.
All right, Joe just said blue.
Blue
I
or
didn't hear
purple.
him. Hey, Pikmin isn't canon.
Everyone buy Facts by Dr. Kent Webb.
what about you, Cake? What's your favorite Pikmin?
Scruffy says he's a
Oh,
big
I just
fan.
said blue or purple. So
Oh, I didn't hear you. Okay, that's cool.
Scruffy said that is putting words in my mouth. I'm a big fan of Pikcast. Heart.
Thank you, Scruffy. We love you
That's
too.
gay.
All right.
But, okay.
I think
yeah,
we've
I
been
think,
going on for long enough.
Yeah,
What
I
is it,
think it's
2
time
hours?
to wind this down.
About
All
2
right.
hours and 30 minutes almost.
All right, so let's just do a quick rundown. Talked over mods. Check out Untitled and Smash Sponge's Pikmin.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they're working on Pikmin 2 as well. And if you're also curious about how it just looks, you're not too interested in modding it yourself, Greyfruit has a Let's Play of a drunken Let's Play of it.
Mm-hmm.
Check out Henrico Magnifico's HD Pikmin texture pack for Pikmin 1. It's really good. Check it out. Check out Jimble's Cave Editor if you are interested in Pikmin 2 hacking.
and we have
he did-
another announcement to make about the cave editor soon. So look forward to that.
Yeah, so keep an eye out on the Cave Editor and try that out. And then also check out Mr. Tongwa's Pikmin 2 hack, which was Pikmin, or it's Tuhua, I think it's what it's called.
Tuangwa.
Tuangwa. And then also send love to Axis, Jason Lupus, and I forgot the name of the third guy because I closed out the tab. Is it in the
lost
description?
Probably in the description.
Ngayan.
Oh yeah,
Ngayan
Ngayan.
on DeviantArt for their Pikmin fan ideas.
Also,
And-
remember to support SBO.
Yeah,
support
SBO and
SBO
his
with his
creation
engine
of
too.
his fan engine.
and
And support us, the Pikipedia
yeah.
staff.
yeah, I mean,
And, yeah.
we support us staff, but we're just kind of here. We don't get paid.
I'm Pickwood staff, so
Yeah, we're still staff. You don't have to be
I mean,
staff
like
to be
Wikipedia
paid.
staff.
I mean, you don't have to be paid to be staff.
Yeah, just support Pikmin. Download the Hey Pikmin
Joe
demo.
says, join our Patreon. We don't have one.
We don't have one.
Yet.
I'm not sure what we would do with money if we had it.
Use it to not die.
Well,
commission art. We could commission
Fund
art with
Pikmin
it.
4.
We could commission art with it.
we could commission art with it.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
We could use it to fund get Cameron out of that horrifying country where he lives.
We could use it to bribe Discord into partnering with us.
Yeah.
Kidding.
Use it for a new feature. That almost rhymes with new creature.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
But yeah, so I think that wraps it up. Thank you everyone who joined. Joe said that we got like 10 new subscribers.
Wow.
Yeah, during the casting.
We're almost there to 1,000.
Very nice.
Well, if we get to 1,000, they'll YouTube will send us a YouTube play button made out of poop that we can hang up on the wall. So looking forward to that.
Oh, someone like much earlier, I just remembered, asked what the Copite text says.
It says Pikcast.
Yeah, it says Pikcast.
Oh, by the way, if anyone actually watches the videos on my channel, please don't ask me what the Copite says there. Dave put a lot of stupid stuff. All I remember is one of the things it says is "suck a fat donger Wii U" is a mistake.
Oh Lord. So as far as this episode goes, I think the plan currently is that we're going to be editing and re-uploading this video with an updated subscription
in a
and
normal
stuff.
Pikcast format.
But yeah, keep on the lookout for that. I think we like this format, so we might continue with doing some live.
Yeah, this is actually quite nice.
Yeah.
I enjoy doing some live ones.
I just want to point out that Toastman says that Kent Webb is a prophet of our time.
I saw that as well. Hey, Juan Liner's here. How you doing, Juan Liner?
You got us right here at the end.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna close this one.
Yep.
So with that, I have to do my signature ending. So with that, thank you for watching. Captains dismissed.
We're back, y'all. We did it. That's 20 episodes.
20 episodes. They said we couldn't do it, but we did it.
We said we couldn't do it.
We said we couldn't do it, but we did it. We broke some bones. Yeah. Okay.
All right, bye, y'all.